Mic check. Checking mics. Mics are being checked. All right, I think we're just about ready. Ready for this freaking train wreck of a freaking live stream to start. Oh man. Hi, welcome. It's Saturday again. I know it hasn't been long enough. How are you doing this wonderful just before Easter Saturday night? Unless you're on the other side of the world, then it's probably already Easter for you. If you celebrate such holidays. Put this on the other monitor here so I can read the chat and looking tenderly into the chat's eyes. Oh, come on, Windows. You can handle this, right? This should not be difficult, Windows. Hold on, I think I got it. Heck yeah, we got it. Stretch that chat out. You've been sick all day, Heating Cobra. I'm sorry. Hope you're starting to feel a little bit better. Feeling good? Good to hear, Ethan. Have you seen the new announcement from Zune officially showcasing Toho 20? I don't really follow Toho, so no, not really that excited for it, but I'm excited if you're excited, Don Combi. Oh yeah, no green screen this time. We're doing it en natural. Yes, Cars, we're always talking about Nerf. Never a time we don't talk about Nerf. There may be times we don't always talk about Nerf, but we will always talk about Nerf. A sandwich is missing? God, I could go for a sandwich right now. Well, I hope y'all had a better week than me. Also, happy early birthday to Adam. He just dropped that on me that his birthday is tomorrow. I don't know if he's watching yet, but if he shows up, make sure to wish him happy birthday. 'Cause, man, it's, he sat on the phone for like, I still have everything chroma keyed. That's hilarious. Hold on. We gotta fix that. Just to show how little, like, green there is in my backgrounds. Hold on. Otherwise, I've painted it clear. Let's see here. We got to go to webcam, filters, edit filters, and hide the chroma key. There we go. Wham! Everything just got a heck of a lot brighter. All right. That's slightly more tolerable, in my opinion. Not a good opinion. I'm just saying it's an opinion. There we go. It's 1 in the morning, Will? Well, there's this thing called time zones. It's only 5 p.m. here. So, Adam stayed on the phone because there's no instructions for this guy. But he kind of helped me figure out a method of getting it to go. And by that, I mean he literally walked me through the entire build. This is the Smiley from Mighty Shrub and Mr. Heathpants. This is like a remix of the Renfield Mark III, which the Renfield takes mags and has shell ejecting. This does not. It takes Nightingale magazines or Venom Pro, and it is unreasonably good. There has been quite a few little setbacks with this one, though. It's been a week. So, first thing that happened with me that kind of slowed things down was I don't know if it was Monday or Sunday or something like that. I woke up and my whole hand was numb. Like my whole left hand, and I still filmed with my hand, pins and needles really bothering me, which is not good. If you know anything, left hand, kind of important. If you have problems with your left hand, that's usually indicative of something bad. I figured I just slept on it wrong, and I did just sleep on it wrong, but that did mean I couldn't type, I couldn't do anything for a whole day. So the next day, it was slightly better, and I think I finished up that video, but I had to, like, you know, use weird control, like, keybinds and stuff, because I just couldn't use my hand the way it needed to be. So I got that video out on the disc shooter thing, which was far more awful than I expected it to be. And then I rolled right into building this guy. And it took a while. I printed out the entire thing. I think it looks pretty sweet with whatever leftover filament I had. And I'm really happy with it. I'm extremely happy with it. But Adam had to baby me for about 2 hours building this thing. Yes, these are Venom Pro mags, Gavin. And this has a thing, this does something that no other blaster bolt action I have seen does, which immediately, in my opinion, elevates it to be one of the very best. So I'm quite happy with it. But as I was testing it on camera, I am still uncertain if I want to show this footage or not, because I know there are more than a few people out there that would take immense joy from my suffering. But as I was using it on camera, the bolt broke. This is the bolt to the Smiley. And even though it was 100% infill, it snapped on me. And this cut the frick out of my finger right on the crevice, the elbow, the first elbow of my finger, which is a really terrible place to get cut, I might add. But then I also smashed myself in the face, which I'm incredibly happy I don't have like a black eye or something like that. But it's safe to say once that happened, I dipped. I had enough for the day, and I decided to just call it quits. Little did I know that was not even the worst thing that happened to me that day. So I got to enjoy the blaster for a little bit longer and, you know, came back up to finish the video. That was, I believe, today. This was like the time, like, okay, I'm going to get this thing done. And I've already filmed like a talkie bit. I've already filmed the entire construction of it, although it was on the phone with Adam, so it doesn't really work as like a build direction. Like, there are no instructions for this thing yet. However, I pulled the footage from my camera. I pulled out my memory card, and I noticed that my memory card was kind of like broken. I'm not sure if that was something I did or it was just something that was going to happen, but my memory card was broken. But I put it in my memory card reader, and it worked, so I figured it was fine. And went to go put the memory card back in today. Now, I bought another memory card, right? And I go to put the memory card in, and it don't go in. So, the camera that I have been using for every single video I have shot for the last 5 years is effectively broken. The memory card reader does not work, which is a major, major setback. Now, this is not my main camera. This is my main camera, but I have used this camera for every single video. This camera sits on that tripod, stays on the set. All the settings are where I want it to be. This one is the one I take outside to do the outside footage. This is the camera I use for the range. This is the camera I use anytime you see a camera or clip that is not in this background. It has been this camera. In fact, this was my main camera for years before I even moved here. It's safe to say I've got my money's worth, and it does, technically, infuriatingly enough, still technically turn on and work. Let me find a battery. It just, you can't put an SD card in it. And this causes issues. Because, obviously, like, it wants to work. It kind of wants, but yeah, you can. When I first had it, it was just saying SD card, reinsert SD card, and I couldn't get it to not say that, and I couldn't do anything with it. I have fixed it, so, like, at least it works technically, but you can see no SD card. I can't get it to work. It sucks. I might be able to plug it into a recorder, like what I do with this camera. I have a, what is it? An Atomos Ninja V. It might work for that. I'm not certain. Some cameras do, some cameras don't. I will test that, although the recorder is like 6 times the size of the camera. The reason why I loved the Sony ZV-1 so much is because it's just so compact. And it's 4K 30 and it looks beautiful. Which, the scrim is off says you could take it apart. I actually did. I actually got this whole back plate off and everything to get to the SD card pin thing. Is take off this entire back, detach it so you can pull the back off, Then you have to take out the entire motherboard, so all the heat sink, all the cooling and everything. You have to take out the lens. You can see where this in the sensor and everything. You can see where this gets a little spooky. And only after you've gotten all those ribbon cables, all that tape, all that heat sink goo, everything off, can you spend $150 on a new board to put in this thing, which would theoretically fix my problem. Now, I could spend $150 and order this board and attempt to fix it over the course of several hours, but let's be frank, when you're taking the entire thing, including the lens, apart, you are potentially leaving yourself open for a lot more to go wrong. And I don't even have that money right now. This month has been bad. Last month has been bad. After this month, things should be good, because then I'll get paid for March, and as you probably saw, March was a really good month for me, and so has been April, and I don't plan on stopping. But losing a core piece of my workflow when I'm already terrible as it is with getting things working, that's been my biggest hurdle when it comes to getting content out for you guys is, you know, motivation. There's a lot of times where I feel like my videos don't matter, nobody really cares, and I'm never happy with them, and I feel like they have to be the very best of the best. And considering the crap I have uploaded, that is, you can imagine the kind of stuff that doesn't hit the channels. You're headed to Akihabara, Steve. You're living my dream right now, man. Have some extra fun for the old Walcom, will ya? Seriously. That's my life's goal, is to go to Japan, obviously. I'm a huge weeb, so I hope you have fun. The camera was, I think I paid about $900 for it, and there's still about $700, $800 for it. So I'm in the spot where it's like, I have cameras, right? I'm not sunk. I do have the Sony FDR 3000, which is still a 4K camera, does all that kind of stuff. I really like this camera. This lens protector is shot, and I keep forgetting to take it off in some videos. This thing's been through hell. I actually have a spare one of these, too, that doesn't work. It just stopped turning on. So I like this one, though, a lot. This camera is cool because... Where is it? Ah, here it is. It has... When my first one died and I bought a second one, I bought it with the little screen thing, and you can put the screen in here, and you can hold it like this. This is like a full-on wireless oh, it's so good. But this is an old camera. This is like almost 10 years old now, I think. And on top of that, it's got that fisheye effect that I hate. So I tend not to use this one very much. You have seen it, and I do use it, but it could be better. So I love this camera. This form factor is amazing. I wish we'd get more like this. And also action cams, you don't have a lot of control over them. I'm not very good with cameras. I'm not going to pretend I understand everything, but I'm getting better. I'm taking an effort to learn, you know, ISO, shutter speed, all that kind of stuff. And it sucks that I can't really do any of that with those action cams. The other camera that I have sitting right here is my Osmo Pocket. This is what I have used for the moment to alleviate the loss of this guy. And there are things I like about this camera. I think the footage is okay. And it's still 4K and stuff like that. And I can actually change like the shutter speed, ISO, and everything like that through the phone app, which is ancient. But I can still do it. This just makes me want an Osmo Pocket 3 so badly. And they were at Costco for the longest time. If you've been walking through Costco recently, you've probably seen Osmo Pocket 3s. Tariffs just torpedoed that. Tariffs just doubled the price of the Osmo Pocket 3, so I will not have one for a long time. But this works. It's obviously that big of a sensor compared to that big. So that sucks. I'm not happy about it, but I'll make it work. If it looks awful, chat, you should let me know, because I'm going to do my very best to make it not awful. But there are positives to this, because it's a way different form factor. You've got this big old thing versus this thing, and this can be twisted and turned and put in all sorts of interesting positions. So like when I'm shooting, I can actually have it like behind me, pointed forward, just to get that true over-the-shoulder experience. There's some cool stuff that you can do with it that I can't do with a camera like this. The other benefit is that because it's an action camera, the depth of field is like pretty, like, it just, everything's pretty much in focus to some degree, which is cool. So I am happy. I had some plans with this guy that I can't do now because I liked the ability to swap focus and stuff really easily that I can't do now. But I will make it work, hopefully. Unless my channel starts dying, then I will be very, very upset. But I have spares. The problem is also getting footage off these things isn't as easy as just, you know, plugging it into the computer and stuff like that, like the Sony was. It's a little bit more taxing, but these are my backups, so we'll make it work for the next while. And then I'll just figure out I'll probably buy like a GoPro or something in the future to replace this. Or buy another one. I don't want to buy another one because this is already 5-something years old and they're still full price. There is the ZV-1E. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat, King Gavosha. The ZV-1E, which is like a side grade to this. It's got a wider lens though, which I don't need, and it's got a lot of things stripped down on it. And then there's also the ZV-1-2. Yes, that is a thing. It's also an option. And there's also the versions that have the swappable lenses, which is good because they would share the same mounting platform that my current camera does. So there's like the E10 and the E1. I think there's even an E1 too. And that can go up to like $2,000, which for a B-roll camera, I don't need that. So I have some things I'm going to have to sit on and think about, but the problem is tariffs, and tariffs are going to completely destroy any chance I have of any of that. So I've been kind of ignoring the chat, but I had a lot to get off my chest. So that's why things have been slow. I will hopefully unscrew that, and who knows, maybe I will fix this in the future. But now it lives in a drawer, and I will just remember it always. I definitely got my money's worth out of that camera, that's for sure. This camera, again, main camera, still works fine. Can't wait for something bad to go with that, but I do have the lens insured on this, because I think the body itself can almost tank a nuclear blast, but the lens is it's like a what, $900 prime lens that if it breaks I would cry. So let's not have that happen. Let's see what's going on in the chat. My best camera's GoPro Hero Session 5. I would totally go for one of those. I liked the Sessions. Osmo Pocket is nice AF. I got an Action instead and regret it. See, I kind of was looking at the Osmo Action 5, but I don't really need the action part of the camera all that much. If I wanted to get like gameplay footage or something for Nerf, I'd get like an Insta360 or something. What software do I use to edit, asks Foam Zone. I actually just use CapCut right now, to be perfectly honest, which is depressing to say, but for my workflow, it works really good. I usually use Vegas Pro. I was using Vegas Pro 21, and that requires me, I paid like $400 a year for it, and I stopped doing that because it's $400 a year. And the problem with Vegas is that it crashes all the freaking time. So I've now moved over to CapCut Pro, and it works fine. I've gotten really quick at editing, I think, on it, in my opinion. I think the videos look pretty darn good. But I have a fallback with I bought a key from the Humble Bundle for Vegas Pro 21, so I have that to fall back on if things get bad. Like, you know, CapCut gets yeeted out of the entire internet. Because you have to be connected to the internet to use it. Found that out the hard way. Sup, I just got scammed out of an xshot Fury by Target. How, Jarrett? How did you get scammed? I placed a pickup order and they canceled it without telling me. Well, then if they cancel it, you get your money back. How's that a scam? Wait until Wednesday for delivery and pay 10 extra for shipping. I don't know how that happens, but I feel like that's something can get. That doesn't seem like it would happen. Like they would. I guess they could, like, oh, we ship it from a store, like, oh, it doesn't work. Like we don't have it in stock and they could ship to you, Jarrett. But I wouldn't call that a scam. They probably just ran out of stock and didn't know, or somebody bought it the same time you placed the order. Do you think we'll get a Dartzo AEB soon? Yeah, Ortez, I'm guessing we'll probably have it within the next couple of months. If Darzone does make a bolt action, I think a Mark IV based one would be great for an AMR style instead of the short pole bolt actions. I mean, they need to make a bolt action and a lever action. I don't know why they haven't done that. Steph asks, new video soon? Yes, I plan on making up for this week next week. Canva, I've heard of that twice now. I think I actually have a tab open on my phone because somebody was talking about Canva. Common Writers playing on Japan local TV, rat meow. Oh, is it Gav? G-A-V-V? I haven't really watched Gav. I see a mutator in the back. I do have a mutator, yes. I have plans to do a video on a mutator. Call Target and complain, $15 off. I'd believe that, Scott. Jared, that might be your that might be your call, is to just give them complain. Hey, I bought this thing and you did all this stuff. I want money. It is Gav. I haven't really been able to get into Gav. I heard it's good. I heard it's way better than Gotchard at least, but Geets was so good. I paid $50 for a Lego Night set, basically paid $1 per piece. That sounds awful. Lego is way too expensive now. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I bought that idiot from Costco, and I haven't found a use for him yet, so he's been there. He's just, you know, you can't see it on camera. Does anybody think I sit down? That was one thing weird, that when Hawkeye came over, he saw my setup and he thought I was sitting down when I'm standing in front of the camera. No, I'm standing the entire time. Do people think I sit down? Is that like a fat thing? Like, oh, he's fat, he's probably just sitting there. And it's like, no, I stand for all of my videos. I like to be free in my movements. There's some things going. And let me scroll this up. Clax for Real tipped $1. PS chat not up on stream. Why is chat not up on stream? Interesting. I did not notice that. Let me fix that because I'm looking at like half an inch. Let's see if we could fix that, huh, chat? Wish somebody would have said something. Why is that not? It's totally there. Let me try to pop out the chat. No, I shouldn't have to do that. I should only just be able to have the chat thing come in here. Like, it should be there. Let me move it up, see if that's, like, buried under something. Looks like that's what it was. It was, because I had it on a transparency layer. There we go. Thank you very much for that, Classic. And Clax for Real tipped 50. My guy, you are financially irresponsible. Here's Gong, I mean camera money, G-O-N-G. P.S. Chat, use Walcom S7.com for donations, 5 cents to Streamlabs versus 30 cents for Google share. Yeah, Google takes 30% of your super chats and stuff like that, which is, in my opinion, pretty criminal. I don't know how much, like, Twitch takes on bits, but Google takes a lot, and I think it's way too much. Thank you so much for that, Classic for Real. It's not going to get me a new camera or anything, but it will alleviate the sting a little bit. I do want to show you something, chat. I want to get your thoughts on this. So, again, this is the Smiley. This is done by Mighty Shrub, and it's a remix of Mr. Heath Pants. There's a bunch of people that are credited for helping this, but Mighty Shrub was the originator. Uses Venom Pro Mags or Nightingale Mags. I don't really have Nightingale Mags, but I do have Venom Pro Mags. Here's something that I think no other blaster can really do. So, bolt action, pull that back. It's pretty cool. You can see the breech right there. Push that forward, close it, fires a dart. Now, what's the thing we've always wanted a bolt action to do in Nerf? And I don't think there's a single one. In fact, when I did the video on the, what is it called? The TO5, the clearanced bolt action, it didn't do this. But I have found, again, through hard work of my finger being cut open, that this bolt flexes, but if you grab the bolt with, like, using your thumb to brace the back of it, and you pull the bolt back, it doesn't flex. You put it back, your finger can naturally rotate off the bolt onto the trigger. So what do you think that means, chat? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Who here is thinking what I'm thinking? Who here just had a Jimmy Neutron brain blast? You're close, Team Puck, but Vesic got it. This, I kind of figured it out after I was playing around with it. It's called the Smiley. Does anybody know what an SMLE is, though? The Short Magazine Lee Enfield. Well, it had a very particular style of use. That was the Mad Minute technique. So, if you brace this, and I kind of brace it like this, just use my shoulder, and you pull back the bolt, push it forward. What do we think about that, chat? I need way more practice on it. I don't think that's something you can just wake up and do. But anybody else need that in their lives? Anybody? I don't think there's another bolt action in the hobby that can do that. And while this isn't going to replace your Kunlun, I do think that this blaster just became, in my opinion, the best bolt action in the hobby. Because it's not very often I get a bolt or a blaster that requires me to develop a new skill and rewards me for it. So if I have my optic sitting there like that and I have it held, again, in the shoulder, sighted, it's really easy. I have to get better at it, but you can just doink things with this. And I love it. That feels good. I think there could be some slight tweaks to ergo. I think this part of the bar, now there is metal ones that are going to be available. They showed it in their printables page, but I think this bar could be rounded and maybe even have a bolt that goes through it, and maybe even try to blend this to the bolt a little bit better, because when I'm grabbing it, I'm bracing it with my thumb and I'm grabbing it with these two fingers right here. And then when I'm firing, I'm using my middle finger. You could reach down farther, but it, again, I cut open my finger with it, and two, it just doesn't feel as natural as to pull it back like that, push it forward, and it just kind of slams into place in this finger, just pops right on the trigger. This thing's awesome. What is it hitting? With the bamboo darts, which I found out this blaster really enjoys, it hits about 240. With standard AF Pros, it's a little inconsistent for me right now, but it hits about 180 to 200. Sometimes it goes like 130s, and I can't figure out why. But it is basically an SMLE, which makes the sense why it's called the Smiley. I didn't think about that until I started trying to bang it. Don't take that out of context. Clax Friel tipped $1. Talk to Taffy about why bolt actions suck for 3D printed blasters. PS another camera dollar. Yes, I know how much a ZV-1 costs dead. Again, I don't think I'd buy another ZV-1, but thank you very much for the dollar classic. How do bolt actions suck? Like, that is awesome. Like, who actually does not enjoy the fast bolt action? And the other thing that I want to point out with this blaster is that it is hyper customizable, because you can do a lot of different builds for it, but even just looking at the base body, you can see, like, this is where the plunger tube is, and when you prime it back, it's actually camming into the grip, which is where the plunger and everything is, which is super cool. This piece right here, which is most of the length of blaster, this is just for ergonomics. You can completely remove this and you can have like an Obrez. You can also have different lengths of handguards, more, less rails on handguards, and shorter, longer barrels. Reality-wise, this is all of the blaster you need, which is not very much. And this thing has quick swap barrels, and if you pull this pin, you can pull out the spring, so you can quick change the spring as well. It kind of just does everything perfectly. The only qualms I have is that you can't just grab the bolt and rip it with like two fingers like you'd want to, because leverage, and you need a metal piece for that, which kind of has to be specially made. I do wish that would get worked on a little bit. I feel like this big knob at the back, that could be half the size, and this could be twice as thick, and that would work. But I'm also not an engineer, so I don't know. I would assume they already tried that and it didn't work. But this thing, it's so good. I've never had a blaster that really made me want to develop a specific technique for it. I'm not good at it. Jeez. I'm not good at it, but it can do it. And with practice, I think it will get better. And I know how this is going to look, because people love to complain in this hobby, but I would absolutely take one of these over a Kunlun. I think they're different blasters. Kind of like the difference between quick scoping and hard scoping. And this is, it's just too good. It's so light and handy. I think the grip is a little bit big. Somebody was saying it looks like the grip didn't feel good. I think it is a little big, but it's comfortable. I'm kind of thinking about taking off this rail because I want a better grip on it, but it is very light and handy, and I give it full marks. Well, you can't adjust the stock length with the Kowloon. You are exactly right, Zeal. Clax Friel tipped another $1. Hoping not putting words in Taffy's mouth, but strictly from an engineering perspective, it's asymmetric stress on the bolt. Well, yeah, that's obvious. That being said, it can be overcome. Dude, that bolt action is sick. I just hate the darts. Well, it will work with any short dart, Jarrett. I have a question. Is pinpoint a good blaster? I'm pretty meh on it, David. Are you going to talk about the xshot AEG? Nothing new has come out about the AEG, Lord. Sorry. It's still a blaster that exists. You know, we'll get our hands on it soon, I hope. I hope it comes out on a Saturday so I can stream with it. Have you tried one of those blue darts the mayor's like? I have not, because I'm kind of worried I would break them, and I only have a couple of them. Happy birthday, fella! It's your birthday tomorrow. Yeah, I really like it. Have you actually done, like, the Mad Minute style technique with it, fella? God, it really messes up my finger, though. It really is not great. That's so fire. I kind of agree. Like, I can't not love the way that works. And I don't think of a single other bolt action in the hobby you can do that with. I don't think there is one. Like, I have a Cynthia. Let me go grab my Cynthia.
Let's rock.
Yeah, there's no way. There's none. So the things I like about the Cynthia is it's very comfy, easy to use. I don't have the top strap on mine, but I like how when you're aiming down with it, if you have the top strap off and pry it back, you can actually see into the chamber, so it's very easy to see if you have a dart going in or not. The TSO5, the TO5, whatever that clearance sniper, also does that, which makes it very good. Like, that is a very good thing to have. You can't do that with the Smiley, unfortunately. But this one hits, I want to say mine hits around, like, what was it, like 230? And I can get up to like 260 something with bamboos. The trigger is not anywhere near as good. The prime, a bit much. Not terrible. You can rip and rip it because there's a bolt that goes through the entire thing, but the amount of like wiggle is the problem. I'm not going to say it's a bad blaster. It's also kind of frick huge, and all this down here doesn't really do anything. It just exists. There's not really a whole lot of customization or anything you can do either. You kind of just have this. There are different parts you can install, but I think it has its moments. But I definitely want to say it's one of my least favorites. Like, I wouldn't take this over a Kunlun. The TSO5, a TFO05, whatever that thing's called, I'll just go grab it because it's sitting right there. This boy, I would probably take this over a Cynthia if I got it for a reasonable price. And I think even at full price, it's about the same cost as the Cynthia. This is less practical, but I think a lot more fun. I just saw John White Welsh. God, it's so small on my screen. With a $20 super chat. Holy crap, John. At my work, I recommended your channel's videos to help many a customer decide good buys and not waste money. That's a slippery slope, man. Don't pin this on me. I'm just a fat kid with opinions. Always recommend your channel. Don't stop doing this. Thank you so much, John. Seriously. I don't plan to stop. It's just I've had a rough week and I wanted to complain about it. Thank you so much. Seriously, John. Am I alone thinking that Smiley has more of a marksman feel instead of sniper feel? They're different snipers. Like, there are different classes, I guess. The Kunlun is definitely more of like a heavy sniper, and I think the Kunlun is the most well-rounded option, especially because it's not 3D printed, but you have way less customization you can do to a Kunlun, and way less cool stuff you can do with it. Although you can make them hit freakishly hard. And they have probably the nicest prime of any of these by far. I don't think the Smiley has a bad prime, but it is like, it's taken me a little bit to kind of figure it out. This boy, oh, it actually did prime. Yeah, it's not great. That's not great at all. I'm glad I got it to work for Z, and I hope she'll enjoy it. I put far too much of myself into this. Oh, that trigger's so bad. There's a reason why there's another one. There's a reason why this was on clearance. That being said, I think for the price that Z paid for it, she got it as a steal. I'm not sure I'm going to give her this purple barrel, though. I found a dart in my VR headset. I like it. I mean, if you got this for, I think these things, you can actually get these things shipped for like 120, 130 bucks, which I think undercuts the Cynthia a lot. The Cynthia's pretty basic. I don't think the Cynthia is a bad blaster, but I think the Cynthia is probably the least attractive version. Yeah, this is the one I put plastic in. The issue stems from two things, that flexing trigger, and also because the way it works, that when you prime it back, it pulls the plunger back like that, and then when you push the bolt back forward, it pushes the plunger back here, which right underneath the plunger is where the trigger, the catch release is. So if it's not all the way up there and you pull the trigger, that trigger only moves a little bit, and if the bolt isn't all the way home, you run into the issue I was having. So it's a combination of both. It's not all the way seated back, or this is not all the way seated forward enough, and the flex of the trigger that's causing me issues. Because the trigger, if it's higher up, changes the distance it needs to move to actuate the catch. That being said, man, this, I still cannot tell you, like, this is some really high resolution print. I don't know what their layer height is, but this is a really low layer height. This is like 0.01, like, not like, you know what I mean? Like, this is really smooth. Like, it has both the roughest of any prints I've ever seen and the smoothest of any prints I've seen. It's kind of nuts. I would, if you got one of these for like $100, I would say it's worth it. But if you're paying, you know, 150, 200 with shipping, no, there's no way. I'm sorry. After some time has passed, is the Awaken or the Grain Rain better in your opinion? That's a great question, Crunchy. You're asking me to fight between my two favorite children. Here's the problems I have had in the year or so. I don't know how long I've had this blaster. The only issue I have come into with this blaster has to do with the seals. There are rubber gaskets that look like they're pre-cut that seal the turnaround. This is the turnaround that seals this to this. So the plunger tube is in here. When you pull the trigger, plunger goes through there, airflow goes into the bottom of the turnaround when it's closed, and then goes up into the barrel, which is where your dart is located, flies out the front. The problem is you have to adjust this seal, how much this part presses against this part. And if you tighten it to like the pretty much max where there's no leak, you get amazing performance. I was getting 180s, 190s out of it. But if you leave it like that, it deforms these seals and they just don't work anymore, which sucks. That is, so I've had to replace these, and these ones I have on here already look like they're not great, and I kind of wish I had more. The Grain Rain doesn't have that problem at all. Granted, I've only owned it for a little while. Now I gotta fire at the thing because I have it primed. That. The Grain Rain don't do that. The Grain Rain just kind of always works. I've never had a moment this blaster hasn't been amazing. The prime isn't the smoothest, but the prime works, and this is where it goes like, no, Walcom, I'm not going to work. But how smooth that mechanism is, and how nice, and the trigger. Oh my god, the trigger. This has a really nice trigger, in my opinion. This beats the snot out of it. And that really light, nice trigger helps a lot with accuracy. Which is why it's like, I think they're different blasters for different purposes. I think you probably get more out of a Awaken, but I can understand why somebody would go with the Grain Rain, because I think the Grain Rain's like $50 cheaper, and you kind of get what is almost a nicer blaster. They're both very similar, but I can tell you straight up, I'd rather use this than this. Although I would use both of them. Man, again, you're like asking me to choose between my children's. I think they're both amazing. Shanya can do no wrong, in my opinion. It does look like she's got bow arms connected to it, Commander Wolf. I think the Grain Rain is better in almost every way, but I hate the reload system. I think the reload has a lot to do with the Awaken. I think the Awaken is a little bit faster and handier when it comes to working, but I think the Grain Rain overall gives you better accuracy and feel. So it kind of depends. Also, digging the Mutator in the background. I did thrift a Mutator. I think I paid $12 for that thing, but I never had one, and I finally have one. Does anyone know how I can get a Dart Zone Mark II in Ottawa? Shout out to my Canadian peeps. It shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, you're going to be dealing with... I would try to just find a Nerfer that would send you one. They're not that expensive. And there may actually be a drop shipping company, too, you could use. I'm not entirely certain. I'd help you out if I wasn't destitute right now, Block. People forget that the Grain Rain isn't meant for speed shooting. Yeah, the Grain Rain's not really meant for actual, more than like target plinking. And also, to be the person who gets, you know, oh, I just tagged somebody out with an Olympic Nerf blaster. Could you compare the xshot Fury X to the Dark Aeon Pro? Why is it called the Dark Aeon Pro? Somebody's been playing a little bit too much Final Fantasy X. I might have to take off my shirt. It's actually kind of warm in here. No, chat. Not that way. Get it out of your dirty minds. So, when I did the original video with the Fury X, the Aeon Pro X was the full $25. Which I will concede to you that the Aeon Pro X is a better built, more durable, much more approachable blaster compared to the Fury X. But I think that extra $10 mattered. And I do think when it comes to rule of cool, the Aeon Pro X has nothing on the Fury X. I think the Fury X kind of stomps all over pretty much most other blasters when it comes to aesthetics. And both of them work about the same way. I do think that at $20, it might be worth the extra $5 to get a more reliable, more robust build. But I don't know if it's really that much. I think either way you would be fine. I feel like that's a fair assessment. Simply why, like, when I talk about the, the Nexus Pro X, I would almost probably take the long shot, the xshot long shot over a Nexus Pro X for a couple of reasons. The difference is that Nexus Pro X has the $50 price tag and the build to match it. The long shot, $30, good price for long shot. $25, $20, amazing price for the long shot. $35, which I'm seeing it at right now, I don't know if I'd pick up a long shot for $35. But here's the thing. If you actually did want to mod your blaster and you wanted to take it above and beyond, I think you get a lot more out of the long shot than you do with an Aeon Nexus Pro X. But when it comes to like the Aeon Pro X and the Fury X, I feel like it's like it really just depends on what you want. They are almost the same blaster. The $5 you save is more of a gamble on if the blaster is going to last longer. Happy Easter Eve, Syphil. I'm always happy whenever I check on YouTube and find a Walcom live stream. Again, it's every Saturday night. I think overall the Awaken is better, though, because you can shotgun and it looks cool. Yeah, but you can also shotgun the Grain Rain. Nothing's stopping you. Pulled out the level 1 starter weapon and the starter weapon maxed. I do like my starter weapons. What lever action would you... I don't have a recommendation for a lever action right now. I really don't. Even if you wanted to go with like the dome blaster, it's like maybe your only option. It is so much nicer than a slab will ever be. And even then, I don't know if I would recommend the $250 or so it would cost with shipping to get a dome blaster. That being said, there is a lever action that I don't know the price of right now, but the problem is it's not like a super easy slam dunk recommendation. I checked on today or yesterday, very close to being able to upload my video on this thing. So that is coming. I have been working with Phantom Toys. They told me to hold off until they were certain they could get everything out and everything's ready to go, and distributors have these in their hands, as opposed to uploading a video and it getting X amount of views and then nobody could buy one. What's the point? So this is a lever action, and it is a lever action tube fed, which I only have one other blaster that can do tube fed without shells. And that's the like $800 thing that you can't even buy anymore that I wouldn't recommend. I don't think I recommended it even in the video. I just thought it was cool. But 4+1 mag, you could literally just slide darts in there like so. You could put 4+1, and it is lever action. So we chambered a dart, triggers right here. And yes, it does have a soft-ish, flexible-ish foam blade. So technically, melee, it's not. Don't even consider it a melee weapon. That is unsafe. I actually have the extended barrel on here, which does allow you to put on a scar muzzle. And with the heavy spring and the extended barrel, I think I was getting 210s with it, which for a blaster this compact, 210, that's a lot. That is absolutely not something you could just like 210. My massive worker Harrier with it, you can hit 300 something, yeah, but you can't use it anywhere. This 210's good, and here's the thing: by just taking out the spring, you can get this down to about 100 by swapping out to a weak spring. It's a very well built, very well engineered. I have another one here, which is far cuter. This one, I love it so, and this has the low spring in it. So with this one, same deal. That dart is effed up beyond all effed up. Let's see how it does with bamboos, eh? This one, we can, again, I'll show you the majesty of this. It does hold about 4+1, if I'm not mistaken. You can just, I gotta make sure I actually put it in the hole, like that. And this one has a weak spring, so you can just do that. And yes, you could dual wield them. And yes, it's still, I'm gonna regret this. Ow! You can still, I missed my hand because I was trying to aim through that. But yeah, so 100 one-handed, 150 I think you can still one-handed, although it's harder. And then 200 you could just use it as a lever action. I think, honestly, I think this is going to be one of the best blasters we'll ever get in the hobby, because very few blasters can go from 90, 80 FPS with a super light spring weight to 200, 230 FPS with a heavy spring weight, and do that within like a single spring change, which requires you to like put a coin in there or something to pop it open. And you can dual wield it. And this is a form factor, like if you stop thinking about this as a blade, or if you think about it in a blade in the way that you'll carry it, you don't have to have a holster, you have a sheath for this thing. And that changes a lot. My preferred method, I thought about trying to model this myself. I kind of want to make a back holster that has them like this. So I can have this on my back and have both of these ready to rock. And you could just sling them like a blade wizard and shoot people, and I would just forget about the blades. I think the whole point is that it's like, it's a melee weapon, but it's like a melee weapon in Hexen or something where it actually is a projectile. I do think people are overestimating how much you want to use this as a melee, because people are like, oh, we're going to ban that immediately. We're never going to let anybody use those because that's so dangerous. Somebody's going to get hurt. And it's like, well, no, like it's not meant to use that. I think one of the first mods you'll see for this thing, I don't know how public it is yet. Shanye actually made like a typical grip, foregrip rifle-like setup for this thing. I think one of the first things you'll see a handguard replace this. And I do think we'll see something that will add some pick rail or something up on the top of this. It sorely needs that. It's pretty fun to aim. It's super fun to use. I really, really like these. The problem I have is because there's only like one small company making these things pretty much by hand. So obviously they're all injection molded and whatnot. They're very robust, but it's just Phantom Tech and you know, a single factory working these on the side. And that means that the price is like, I think the cheap, like the one place that's been selling them, which I don't know, I wouldn't buy it from them right now because they're selling old ones. The reason why I was delayed on these is because he's reshaping parts on it, which I haven't had any issues. You haven't seen me have any issues, but apparently there were people having issues, so he redesigned a part for it, and they're making those new parts and they're putting them in the new blasters. Was like $100. I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like this is a $100 blaster. If you really wanted it, it's definitely a $100 blaster, but I feel like this is a $60, $70 blaster. I would be very confident in that price point. But because of the economy of scale, because it's a small company making them, basically by hand, and they have to get paid for their work, that price does go up. I don't think if you like what you see here, you will be disappointed. And for the way these things work and the flexibility they offer, I do feel like that's still a fair price. I don't think you would feel like you overpaid. But I do have to be, I'm very value focused when it comes to my reviews, and that price point is something I quite honestly just can't kind of get over. There's nothing wrong. I have zero complaints about that blaster, other than the fact that it looks like a knife. And I like the fact that it looks like a knife. I just know that's going to lead to some problems. But man, I think that blaster will go far. If they ever get that price down, it will go so far. I wish like Dart Zone would buy the design and sell it themselves. I can't wait to turn my dome back into a slab. That is the worst thing I've ever heard, Classic. Talos, I don't think we should have melee unless it's a purpose-built melee thing. Does that make sense? It's compact and shoots $210, $100 ain't bad. You're not wrong, Booze Belly. I'm just saying, like, from my perspective, I would pay, okay, let's be frank. I would pay $100 for that. I would. But I feel like I wish it was cheaper. I do. And that's like, not often do I feel that. It's hard because I think it's totally worth it, but I also don't know how much it's going to be worth to everyone. I think it's limiting its appeal. Hey, Walco, do you think it was a good idea that I got an xshot long shot as a good pro? No, I don't think that was a bad idea at all, Kadesh. I do think you need to buy the replacement parts for it, though, because the plunger tubes do apparently crack. I do still plan to do like a burn down on one of the newer ones. It's just funds are limited at the moment. Although I just got that, like, you know, $50 from Class for Real. Maybe I'll go buy one and burn it down, see what happens. Just dry fire it on camera. Actually, that's something I did kind of want to talk about. I thought about doing, like, I might still have to do it just to see what happens, but what if I just did, like, a shooting around video? Like, really minimal editing. I'll still have probably 2 cameras set up, plus a recording from the target, but what if there was, like, a chill, like, just shooting, trying to get, you know, high scores with blasters and writing them down and stuff on the whiteboard next to the range? Any interest in that? I know a lot of you, since you're here, you're going to say yes anyway, but I'll take your honesty, because I'll do it, and if the video gets like 8K views, I'll never do it again. But it's like, I haven't done it, and it might be worth. What makes the slab so much worse than the dome? So the slab, the reason why the dome works so much better is because there's a lot more reinforcement, because there's a lot of like steel and stuff parts on this. But the main thing, Nixu, is the bearing. This is so smooth. It is unreal. So if you thought like, oh, my slab's pretty easy, this is so much better. It is unreal how much nicer this is than a slab. And we're kind of starved for lever action options. So when you have one that just works so much better, this is like a weird one. So who would I recommend the dome blaster to? I would recommend it to anyone that was like almost there with a slab, but they wanted one that was a little bit nicer. This is legit like one of the nicest 3D printed blasters I've ever got my hands on. I wish I would have gotten the one with the stock, but I honestly didn't know this was even coming to me at the time. And, oh, I thought Did I just dry fire you? Or is the barrel not seated? I have had issues with the barrel not seating. Let's try that again. Okay, there we go. I wish I had the one with stock, because I think that's like its biggest pain points, because this thing's heavy. But when it comes to like maneuverability and stuff, not having the stock helps. And it doesn't need it. Like, a lot of lever action blasters need the stock. You need that extra point of contact to anchor yourself. This one doesn't need that. It's that smooth, dude. But yeah, I think it's like, so the price in Australian dollar reviews, I feel, is really fair. It's the shipping, I think, that's going to kill you with this thing. Because I think the shipping for this blaster, as somebody told me, it was like $100. But I still, like, that's my recommendation. Like, have you ever held a slab and you wished it was a little bit nicer? Absolutely buy a dome blaster, because it is so smooth. That makes it so much nicer to use. That being said, Nixu, you could wait to see how the video on the Mangzong, that lever action blade, turns out. And we can also see, like, I don't know, I don't think like we've seen Dart Zone's hand yet. There's a non-0% chance Dart Zone would have a lever action this year. I just feel like they haven't announced it yet, and I'm a little scared we haven't seen any pro new stuff from Dart Zone, and it's already almost May. I'm more interested in the score of the Smiley. It's not the highest. I did get 94, I think, with it, but it's definitely not as high as some of the other blasters I've done. Have I tried Airsoft? I played Airsoft a lot as a kid, and I do have an Amoeba Striker. So, does anyone have a broken Mark III I could buy for $15? I highly doubt it, Josh. Although they've been pretty cheap. I think we've seen Mark IIIs as low as like $28 before. Classic for real tipped $1. Meant to say can't wait for my turn my Monzong bag into a slab. Also sarcasm. Ah, gotcha. Thank you very much for the $1. When are those pirate blasters releasing? Hopefully soon. I kind of want to get my hands on them. Not sure if it's on your radar or hype about it. I'm drooling over Silly's Breacher blaster. I don't know. After how bad my video did on the Silly stuff, I'm gonna level off on the shells for a while. What is my favorite Dart Zone blaster? What is my favorite Dart Zone blaster, chat? I would honestly, I wouldn't be against saying my favorite would probably be like the Conquest. Being able to lay, can I lay back like this, chat? Is this okay? I can't read the chat at all from here. Is this okay? This is really relaxing. I would almost say it's the Conquest. I think the Conquest has a lot that could be better for it. Have you ever shot real guns? Man, Mr. Freephonics, I hate the real guns terminology. I have shot firearms. I own firearms. I've actually shown a firearm off in my video on the gold lever action. If you want to go look for that. I forget what it's called, the HQ something. I showed off my 22. Because it's like, my 22 was like $300 and something, and this lever action Nerf blaster was $800 something. I mean, let's be fair, I said it was Airsoft, but no, that's my 22. I do need to get a 357, like a Marlin. I have plans to get a 357 Marlin and a matching revolver. I just don't have the $2,000 to blow on that right now. I'd love a Real Steel channel. I don't have the economy to run a Real Steel channel. And also, I don't think I have the technical specifications nor the safety requirements to run a Real Steel channel. I'm also not as I like having firearms because it is that nice knowing comfort that in the absolute worst of situations I have somewhat of a fighting chance. One thing is better than no thing, and I have multiple firearms. That being said, like I'm not like a super huge firearms enthusiast. I don't know where you'd put me on the scale. I think I'm a rational firearms owner. I have stuff I want though. How do you like the Lenovo Legion Go? Mr. Anderson, the Lenovo Legion Go is the best piece of tech I've ever owned. If you can handle the computer side of computers, as in you don't scare away from having to install programs, uninstall, optimize things, and so forth. The Lenovo Legion Go makes the Steam Deck look like a joke. But if you're like a console kid that has only ever owned an Xbox and Nintendo, then yeah, go with the Steam Deck. Captain Shotgun, hey Walcom, why was your week bad? We talked about it. I just had a, like, let's see, for a good portion of the week, my hand was numb and I couldn't use it. I don't know how obvious that came across in my video on the disc shooter. That video didn't do as good as the others though, so maybe it had something to do with it. And I was really worried because it was my left hand, which for a lot of people realize that's like, oh, that's the one that's closer to your heart. That usually means you're having issues. Also, you're fat, Walcom, so no, I just slept on it wrong. So for a day, it was bad. The next day, it was not as bad, but still pretty uncomfortable to use. And then now it's fine. It's totally fine. I then, while shooting the stuff for the Smiley, I broke the bolt. Do you guys want to see that footage? How do I bribe you guys into making me feel less bad about showing you this footage? It's not really as fun as you think it is, but I do have the footage of me smashing myself in the frickin' eye with that blaster. And I know there are people who will take immense joy in seeing me suffer, because I noped out. I noped right the hell out. I was like, I'll show it. Maybe I should have like a goal. Like, because I'm worried people are going to be like, oh my God, I've wanted to see Walcom hurt himself. I want to see the absolute lowest Walcom will go. Man, it sucked. It wasn't like, I was glad I don't have a black eye or anything, but I biffed it hard. Let's see what I can do here. Ugh, I don't want to do this. I'm actually worried. I was like, maybe I should keep this footage to show like at the start of the video, but it's not necessarily Smiley's fault. I don't think really it's anyone's fault. So I printed out the bolt, right? I've printed out 4 of these. My issue with my original one is that it flexes quite a bit. So I printed out another bolt. I printed one up on the print bed like this, so the layer lines go horizontally. And then I printed out the other one where it's like this, where the layer lines go vertically. Vertically is how you're probably supposed to, but I figured if there's a bunch of layer lines going like that, right? And I'm pulling back on it, shouldn't that be structurally better? Right? Shouldn't it? You can see how this broke. Like, it was along layer lines, also wasn't along layer lines. And man, it felt awful. It felt so bad. I think it's the C406 file. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know how the audio's gonna go, chat. C4026. It's like some of the last footage my camera will ever get, because then my camera died after this. I can't like fast forward through it, unfortunately. So I was like trying to, rip it. I don't know how long this footage is. Hopefully you can hear it. Actually, I think I can see the audio bar here. It's gonna take a bit because this is like towards the end of the footage. You got an 86. Doink the thing. Doink the other thing. All right, feeling good. Feeling pretty awesome. I restarted. I had a second mag there. Right there. And you can see I want nothing to do with life right there. Was that worth it, chat? Was that actually worth it? That was, that's one of the lowest things you'll ever see me on this channel, but it hurt, man. I'm not fooling. It hurt. King Kavosha with a $2 super chat says, show us. I did. There's my greatest shame. I don't know if I should use them in the video, chat. Then Sparky Santos, nice to see you, Sparky. I really hope you're doing well. Treat you and the wife to some coffee. I mean, yeah, I wonder how late Dutch Bros is open, because we could both use a coffee. Yeah, I'm glad it was something that I can laugh about now. Like, it cut open my finger. It's a little hard to see. But yeah, it cut it open pretty good. That's me super gluing it back together, and it hurts. It's actually like in the worst possible place. Every single time I flex my finger, it stings. Ugh. And yeah, it knocked the bejesus out of me. Thank you very much, Darth Revan. F in the chat, boys. I mean, we can watch it again if you want to see a good old Walcom smack himself in the face. I mean, otherwise, you can tell I was having a blast. It was great. Let's get that one more time. Let's watch Walcom punch himself in the eye one more time. You can see why I like this blaster, though. Like, you could really get down into it. Like, you can... It's so nice. It really is a fantastic little blaster. It's like, yeah, I'm feeling super confident. I'm like, I'm going to doink the target. Doink that target. Oh, yeah. All right. This is what we got. Got a second mag load. Let's just freaking rip right into it. Wham! Right in the eye. And that was me, like, looking into the viewfinder to see if my eye was bleeding. And then, yeah, I got my finger. It's all dripping blood everywhere. It was great. It was awesome. Those bell sounds are nice AF. Yeah, those are the best targets I've ever used. Like, full stop. I think the e-shooter targets are some of the best you can get. I think they run you about $60 a piece. Yeah, but it's still, I think it's worth. They're battery operated and everything. I think they're really nice. At least you're not dealing with a Kentucky ballistic. I mean, it could have been, it would never be as bad as Scott's. There's no way. I could have easily had ripped this thing out there and jabbed it into my eye. Like, that is absolutely something that could have happened. So, yeah, I'm sad. It's definitely a learning experience. I thought it was going to be bulletproof. It wasn't flexing at all, man. The other bolt, the stock one, wherever that went, that one was flexing a lot. All those safety goggles for nothing. I saw these, like, why do you have so many glasses? I got like a whole box full of glasses. Least favorite xshot you ever used? Look, I think the xshot Hawkeye is cool, right? I hate the fact it's a single shot pump action. That's stupid. Will we get loadout videos when the summer events come around? I don't have any events that I'm going to. That being said, I might do some loadout videos. I like loadout videos. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm looking at myself. I do that a lot just so I can look and see how stupid I look on camera. Did I just move my head? I did move my head. I like loadout videos. Loadout and that kind of autism when it comes to theory crafting and stuff like that. I'm a huge fan of it. It's just they don't seem to perform well. And also, I can't do them as good as Jangular used to do them. And Jangular did them a decade ago, and he was the best. Bro, finna have an army's worth of iPro with me. My gas was from madness. I could wear glass. Maybe I should. Honestly, that might be the wake-up call. Maybe I should wear shooting glasses. Don't take this wrong, but I feel like there's a Sergeant York movie reference could be talked about here. I don't know if I get that reference. Does Hawkeye love the xshot Hawkeye? I believe he hates it. What would you do if all your jolts disappeared? I'd be pretty upset. You guys have never seen, I have nearly in package hanging on the wall every single micro shot. I'm only missing a couple. All the ones that were sold in the normal boxes, I have almost all of them. Walcom, please mod the double punch. I need another double punch, probably 2, and I could do it. I could put a bounty on it. I would need 2 double punches and probably the ear of Buff Daddy. Buff Daddy, are you still here? I don't think you are, but if you are here, sound off in the chat. I'm angry about the double punch situation. Walcom, check Discord. Bro, this better be worth. I hate being told to check a Discords. Oh yeah, I've seen that. The xshot foam sword Inosuke's katana. Who knows if that'll be any good? Maybe it will be. We need Buff Daddy emotes. It could be done. Hey, Nerf. Not actually Nerf, but somebody named Nerf. We did finally get a bad Amazon Nerf blaster time shifter. So, I don't know why. I'm angry about this, chat. I do not know why. With all the genius in this community, of all the cool things that people have done, Why is it that nobody ever took 2 flywheel cages and put them flywheel to flywheel and put them in a double punch? The double punch, for those of you that know, use singular 130 size motors, but they have a shaft that goes through the entire motor, and then it has flywheels on each side. So the 4 flywheels of the double punch, to save money, are ran by 2 motors. And then I saw people buying like Tamiya, like, you know, what are they called? The, oh my God, Sparky, don't hate me. I literally have the cars, the ones from Yakuza, the ones you put in the track, Mini Z. No, that's the ones that I like now. Mini 4WD. Yeah, thank you, Nixu. They're using those motors to upgrade. Like Thetworst had like an upgrade kit they sent me, and they were getting like 130s. Why do we not just take 2 flywheel cages and just put them together and put that in the double punch? I'm gonna be right back, chat. You wanna see I'm either the biggest idiot or the greatest genius? You take your flywheel cages, right? You take them and you put them like that. You put them like that, chat. These ones aren't the best because these are old worker ones, but you get it. And then you put this in here. And even if you have to cut open the sides to fit it, right? That is still acceptable to get one of these to go do the fun stuff, right? I don't know why that hasn't been done. You know, now that I'm looking at it, it's actually, I thought it used it uses like super long motors. Because look, motor bumps, no motor bumps. So it's just one wheel, one motor with like a really long shaft. So again, even using, these might be these are canted and they might be 180s for all I know. So these are not optimal sized, but take this and it's like, oh, look at that. It's literally, it's freaking perfect. I don't even have to like work to space it. It's perfect. Like, you don't even have to do work. Why has this not been done? Like, and all it would take is somebody like with calipers just to make 2 cages that have a little bit of space that go together like that, and then you screw them together and then you mount them in the shell, and it would be perfect. Why the hell's that not been done? I'm actually upset about this because that's the first thing I thought of, and I don't think anybody's done it. If there's a blaster in the world that deserves to be modded, it's this guy. And it's like, oh, they made it kind of impossible. And I was sitting there with, I think it was with Solon. He's like, look, I like him thick, okay? I like him thicker than most. That's a pretty thick boy right there. That is a thick blaster. And yeah, it might need to be slightly thicker to have, you know, motor bumps coming out the side. You know, give another ½ inch on. It would still be fine. You're talking about dude, the practical applications for this system are insane. If we could get 150, 200 FPS out of this thing, it would be a destroyer of worlds. Dual mag for high capacity. Rate of fire goes from single shot to basically infinite, like super fast. Like, you can really dump truck with this thing. And if we could get brushless, on this, it would be so worth. Why has nobody done this, chat? That's why I'm like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Why has nobody done this? There's no way I'm the only one that thought of it. Somebody had to have already gotten through with this and been like, it's really not that good. We're not going to waste our time doing that. And like, it doesn't work or something. But from everything I can see, it would work perfectly fine. I just don't know why it hasn't been done. And it bothers the hell out of me. Full auto. So I actually thought about it, Baleki. I thought about like having a mechanical thing where it's like you can slide a switch up and it would de-link the actual pusher and you could just have it on a motorized thing and then push it down and it would link back up, like kind of like how the Mark III does it. Oh god, I love this blaster. I only have this one. This is the only one of these I have. So I'm scared to do anything to it. I wish I had 2 more, but that would cost me like 80 bucks at Walmart right now. But 2 of these guys and then cut them down to pistol sized and have, you know, 8 motors, 4 for each one. It's just absolute, oh my god, it would be so good. I swear, if that actually works, this community is lost to me. They are currently $30 at Walmart. That's $30 times 2 that I don't have right now, plus taxes. I recall asking about a double punch mods, and I recall many claiming it couldn't be modded. I mean, I thought it'd be hard, but I didn't think it couldn't be modded. That sucks, Crunchy, but it should be easy to tune it back up to its full potential. Although I think they gimped the barrel. I think the barrel is something that they actually did tone. Like, people were complaining the barrel's so loose the darts fall out. And they were ransacking my comment sections with that, which I had no problems with that on either of the ones I have, and I have 2 more Fury X's now. Did I tell you about that, chat? Did I tell you about the mystery xshot package that showed up? And I was like, I wasn't expecting this. Nobody's emailed me. I have no idea what the hell this is. I opened it up and I pulled back the signature xshot black foam and I saw that yellow or that white, bright pink, blue, black. And I went, no way. Did they send me the new AEG? And then I opened up and it was an xshot Fury X. You know, the blaster I did a review on like 4 months ago? They trolled the crap out of me, dude. So now I just have 2 more Fury X's I don't know what to do with. Are the internals simple? In the double punch, it's a semi-automatic, so it's technically a binary trigger, but that's just springs and levers. I would say they're easier to understand than most. No, the Fury X, it's pretty simple. Pretty sure I got a Fury X like right here. Yeah, I got this boy right here. This is my modded one, but I couldn't really get it to shoot all that much harder than a stock one. I even cut down the barrel hoping that maybe the barrel was like slightly too long, so I think I took like 2 inches off the barrel and I still can't get much out of it. I got like 170s. It wasn't enough for me to even really do a video on. What if you put punching gloves on the double punch so you can use it as a melee? Walcom, if you were to sell your Spring Thunder, I couldn't sell my Spring Thunder. My Spring Thunder's garbage, man. It's so bad. Ask Solanese. It is so bad. It's so old. It's one of the first blasters I ever printed. It's actually kind of a hot day today, all things considered. Yesterday, it hit over 80. Crunchy, I still have thoughts about doing that, but as of right now, I'm not going to commit to it. Why did the double punch have to be a 2.0 Nerf blaster? It doesn't feel like a 2.0 Nerf blaster. Michael D, make a deploy shoot half darts. You can. There's actually a kit to convert one into a flywheeler. Double Berry Fury X shotgun. I mean, I've thought about it, Classic. I'm not going to lie. I've thought about it. What about the regulator system 2 times the double punch? Well, the whole point of it is that binary trigger, Commander Wolf. So I don't really feel like that matters. No, Adam, this is all I do. Whine on the internet about plastic toys. Yeah, those ads are random, Darth. I don't really have control over them. I mean, I can do an ad. Hey, chat, can I do an ad for once? I've never actually done one. I think it'll be fun. We should see what happens. That way somebody can claim the video because they think their song is... Darth is like, no! Dude, I'm gonna run an ad. I want to see what happens. I've never done it. You've never seen me run an ad. That button, it's Siren Song right there. Let's see what happens. I want to see how many people leave. I click the button. Ads inserted. Did anything happen? Did anything happen? I don't think anything happened. I pressed the button. It said ads inserted, and then it did nothing. I don't know. There's a stream marker, and there's a highlight. Oh, I didn't know this. An ad happened? Okay. I mean, not enough people left, so clearly it wasn't that intrusive. A special K ad? Heck yeah. Everyone else is like, I have ad blocker. You know what? That's fair. I'm not going to... You can't go through the internet. I pay for YouTube Premium, but honestly, the secret to YouTube Premium is YouTube Music. It played a JCPenney ad so bad I confess JCPenney is trying for bankruptcy. It's either them or Macy's is going next, I feel. Noah, I finally got a Striker 2.0 and found out how to make it a 3-shot shotgun. Yeah, I can see that. Guitar and Bikes, thanks for subscribing. Sound off in the chat if you're actually here. Favorite One Piece arc and character? I want to say it's probably Water 7, and it's probably Frankie. I think that's a very logical statement to make. I would buy your Spring Thunder, though. Bad or not, I'd probably mod it. Dude, it's really bad. I don't even think it works anymore. You'd have to print out a whole new one and hope the hardware kit fits the new one, which I doubt it does. How does your opinion on the coat hanger hold up? I think it's great. I actually know where it is. My only issue with this is that the seal is garbage. I think that's something to do with the pusher. But I have not primed this in a long time, and yeah. Oh my god, chat. Can you hear this? Did that come across on camera? Of all of the things Tinker has made, I think that's the nicest. Trigger is excellent. Not sure how I feel about this pump grip, but a lot of people don't like the other blasters that he makes being too realistic. I find it funny because he started with this, and I don't think this was a very big success. Even though I love how this thing looks so much. I don't have a stock on it right now. But, oh, I'm also missing the bolt that keeps the stock on, so we'll just remove that. So, I love how it looks like a 90s Nerf blaster. And yeah, the only issue I have is no matter what I seem to do, my seal is garbage. Let me see if I can even, like, dry fire a dart through it. Don't have a mag, but we can just drop a dart in. No. There we go. Let's see where we're at. It fired okay. I think it's really cool. I don't know how much he's selling these for, if he still does. I think if, like, what is this thing? Like, it's a really good, like, 160, 170, if I remember correctly. For the Prime, here's the Pinky Prime. It's a little bit tough on me, but it's not improbable. It just requires that little bit of extra effort. You can literally see the catch back there, chat. Look right there. You can see that's such a cool mechanism. And once you pull the screws out of it, I think it's only like one screw, the whole blaster breaks apart and you can very easily service everything. It might actually be 2 screws. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it maybe... I'm trying to think, like, in terms of Javelin, Coat Hanger, and Javelin M4X. I think this is my favorite design, but it's not as flexible as the other two. And I think that had a lot, because like you could put like a different priming grip on this. You could put a different stock on it. You really can't do much more than that though. And this grip is maybe my least favorite. It's funny, and I know Tinker and I think a lot of the same. So I don't like the monkey grip. I like the just grabbing it with like these fingers and doing that. I do think this guy, there's a couple of pieces that are cracked, probably my fault. And like I said, the seal on it is pretty bad right now. But I do like it. I don't know how much I'd pay for one. It really, like, if you want like one of the better, I don't remember what I did in the thing. We can actually look it up. Spitfire products. Because it's absolutely worth. It's just, how much does he want for one? $175. That's with blaster and muzzle and the spring upgrade. So it's about $200. Oh, man, the one he has on the thing is still that one right there. That's crazy. What does it hit, though? I don't remember what the velocity is like. It will reach 220 FPS with worker bamboo darts. I mean, that's the thing. It's just not as flexible. And I think the Javelin Max is like pretty much the same price. Yeah, that's the problem. If you like the design of the coat hanger, I think you could do with one. But at the end of the day, I think the Javelin M4X is just a better value because that blaster can do anything. I looked at your 3D printer video again. Looked at 3D printer suggested at 200. They say it changed to 5. Yes, I'm very much aware, Darth. I'm also very much aware that they sponsored another video, and then the tariffs happened. It's got to be an awkward video. That being said, the tariff thing has been an on and off affair. There is a good chance those tariffs will disappear, but I don't know how they would do that. Like if you bought a Bamboo Labs, you know, A1 for the $600 or something it costs right now, and then they turn around and drop the price to $400 or $300 because the tariffs went away, how would they make that up to people? I don't know. The Kunlun is an excellent blaster. I highly, highly recommend picking one up. That being said, in terms of bolt action, there are areas it can be improved upon, and there are blasters that do better at it. We were taking a look at the Smiley, and I'm going to say it, I think this is a better blaster than the Kunlun. If you have a printer, I think this is a better option. That's my opinion. It's not going to be as robust as the Kunlun. It's not going to hit as hard as a Kunlun, but it can fire faster than a Kunlun, and it's lighter than a Kunlun, and it's more customizable than a Kunlun. Hey, Kendon. You can't use the Kunlun because you're left-handed? That's fair. With the Smiley, all you do is you take the bolt off and then you just flip it around and you screw it back on because it will go either direction. I looked it up multiple times. I don't know where the Kunlun came from, but I have heard from pretty much from the factory that it is called the Kunlun. So, what is the most reliable blaster you've used for most of your wars? The Boomco M6 pistol, because it's a front loader. Have a good night, Tim. I know the tariffs will disappear due to obvious backlash. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that will go. I can tell you when I was looking for cameras, I was upset because of the tariffs. Hey, Pixelated. Probably the Nerf Pro stuff, Christ. There are left-handed Kunluns out there. Is it like a special order thing you have to get? Is Freddy getting closer to his whole widening surgery? I don't think so. Where is Freddy? He's hiding back there somewhere. What's the big blue bolt action looking blaster? That is a Buzzbee mutator. It's a freaking bizarre blaster. This is a wild thing. I've never seen one of these things in real life until I picked this one up. What did I pay for it? I think I just saw it. Oh man, that price. Oh, but I had to. I don't have one. I had to pay the price. I think it works, but it is a dual magazine. So, if I remember correctly, you might have to prime it back. And then this, I believe it's the foregrip. It might be something else. Maybe it's that. I guess it's that. But you can see it changes which magazine it chambers from, which is super interesting. And it's got the ergonomics of something that is very not ergonomic. What the hell are you? Oh, cool. The stock comes off. I don't know if it came with a scope. I don't have a scope for it. Like I said, I was just happy enough to find the one. Oh, and this flip-up sight looks like it has a spring in it, but mine is jammed. So, yeah, this is probably one of the hardest sells I've ever had to give myself, but it's, I have one now, so I guess all that matters. But yeah, it hurt to spend the $12 on it. That's for sure. I'm willingly skipping Star Wars Celebration for this. I didn't know there's a Star Wars Celebration. Not that I really care all that much about Star Wars, to be honest. Do you still have hope for Nerf Pro? I don't know if we'll see more Nerf Pro. I didn't think we'd see the last two. It had better end up in a bin before I come over again. Dude, nothing's going to get fixed until you come back over. And you just, yeah. It's so messed up. We've barely gotten it, like, even functional for me to use the studio again. Buzzbee fell so far from grace. I don't even know what the heck they're doing anymore. I do have a Twist Fury. I just don't really have strong feelings about the Twist Fury. What happened to the Dart Zone Thunderbolt? I have one I never did a video on. I guess it didn't sell that well. There were on Amazon or not Amazon, it was on eBay for a while, but I think, yeah, it's kind of on Obtainium now. We need an actual Break Action Pro Jolt. We have that pretty much with the Cricket Pro. What is the best blaster you can suggest for HVZ? With the Alpha Auto 20 or Alpha Auto 72 coming back out, I think that might be the best, like, budget HVZ setup you can get. Probably. I bet you Z would be down. They originally started the work on that whole mess. I like the skewer. I just don't have strong feelings about the Twist Fury. Because it's like kind of creaky, kind of... I honestly haven't taken it out of the package, but from what I saw, like, I got it and I was kind of like... I don't know if I want to do much with this. Nerf aren't doing great right now. Certainly seems like they aren't. I bet, from what it looks like, the Galactic Commander will be a pretty good little blaster. And I've heard people who aren't, like, in the know say they really like the Nerf Pinpoint. I know a friend, an old coworker, that got a Pinpoint for his kid. And he's like, dude, Nerf is awesome now. And I was like, funny you mentioned that. And he's like, oh my God, I had no idea you did all this. I'm like, yep, so I'm very familiar with the Pinpoint. You know nothing, my child. I would love to teach you. When's the Sprinter voting? I don't know if I'm going to do the Sprinter video. It's so old hat. It's not going to get any views. No matter how good that video is, it will never get the views. Have a good night, Daniel. I don't play Roblox now. A lot of people really liked Thunderbolt. I think Abquintic was huge on the Thunderbolt, and I never opened mine. Now it's a collector's item. Maybe I'll thrift one someday. I don't know how much more I got to talk about. Any videos you guys want to see? Anything you think I could do that you guys would be interested in seeing? Save the Sprinter for when the new N1 stuff shows up. That's fair. Dude, on Thursday at my school, we have these things called family groups and houses. The houses did a Nerf target comment. I volunteered. They rejected me, and it was their downfall. Huh. James, nice to see you. Thanks for coming out. I moved back into my house from a rental since the tree hit 10 months ago and only took an appliance company 3 times to deliver a working refrigerator. Wow. Yeah, that sucks. That's not great. I guess we're all just suffering from a terrible April. Yeah, Ragnarok's an easy pick for background music, Nathan. Do a Buzzbee retrospective. The problem with Buzzbee is that a lot of their blasters are stupid rare. Not worth anything, just rare. Thoughts on the Dart Zone Pirate Blasters? I'm kind of optimistic for them. I haven't seen any video or anything, but I've seen how they look, and I'm definitely interested. The Max Outlaw's on sale at Target for how much? $22 for an Outlaw? That's a pretty good deal. How has your opinion of the Strifex held up? I don't think the Strifex was worth the money at all, and I think I've been right about that the entire time. It's an okay blaster otherwise. When is the next dumpster dive video? It'll be next week. I haven't filmed it. I don't even know what blaster I'm going to do, but we'll see. I'm going to wait probably until a little bit later in the week for that one. A $4 Goodwill Outlaw is an amazing find. I'd be giddy if I found that. If you just bought it a couple of days ago, Thrake, you could take your receipt and go back to Target. They might cut you a deal. They might give you store credit. I know Amazon will do that. Oh, there's a yawn. I ain't got no battle axe. I ain't doing a review of it. I ain't gonna spend $200 on a blaster I don't think I'll like. I wonder if they release a Thunderbolt on the Nitro Shot line. They might, Noah. That actually might not be a bad thing. Have they revealed like the Spectrum? I think they did the Spectrum as announced for that line. I think the Spectrum sold a lot. $35 Venoms? Crap. Yeah, $35 Venom. Woo. Woo! 70 bucks. Ooh, is it Striker? Striker? $35 Striker. Ooh. Chad, that's like what? $70 and you get yourself a full out loadout? Man. That's a good one. That's a real good one. Yeah, we've seen the $25 Venoms. $35 is still really good, though. I wish I had more affiliate link stuff for Target. I don't. But $35 Venoms, don't sleep on that if you don't have a Venom yet. That blaster will blow your mind for $35. That blaster was mind-blowing at $50. So for $35, it's just a freaking steal. I don't know how Dart Zone makes money off of it. Tier list of all the blessed blasters. I don't think I have time for that thing. That sounds like a really hard video to do. $35 for a double punch? It's always been 35 bucks. That's the problem. I've never seen like a I want to see a double punch for like 14 bucks. I will do my best to get that xshot AEB the second I can. That goes double for anybody who finds one. Like, if you find one, shoot me an email, send me a message on Instagram. If you're willing to send it, if you find one before me. A lot of times it comes from East Coast first. Like, who knows if I'll have the money right then and there, but I guarantee I'll pay you back with extra and give you a massive shout out. Two mags and a battery and you're spending $5 on a blaster. That's a good way of looking at it, David. Yeah, $35 Venom is a steal, chat. I want to get my hands on more of those nitro shot stuff because I actually do think the new nitro shot blasters are pretty interesting. They're just reshells, but the darts are really good. Siren's on Amazon? Hasn't it always been on Amazon? I'm almost certain it's almost always been on Amazon. I think it's cool that Dart Zone actually has some competition with xshot. Just shove the barrel all the way back. It's probably out of hair. Oh, on the, wait, what the hell are you doing here, Shane? Pretty sure I have the... I don't remember how the barrel in this thing works. I tried to replace the O-ring on the pusher, and it's like, I think I have like a pink one in there. I don't think it seals properly. Yeah, it's not sealing at all. I think I asked you for an O-ring. I also think I asked you for a new bolt for this thing, because I lost the bolt. I don't know where the hell the bolt went. But... and mine, let's be fair, there's cracking in places because I probably torqued it down too hard. Yeah. Like, I messed with this thing so much because I loved it. It's traveled with me all over the place. It's had a good life. I mean, you can also just save up for a one really good blaster, Crunchy. Hey, Danny Cookie. Have a good night, Fire Guy. Siren is on shelf at Target. It's just hidden in a weird corner. Yeah, everybody keeps telling me that, Sarah. I haven't seen it myself. I should go looking. But I'm like 20 minutes from a Target no matter what direction I go. Again, Nick, if Dart Zone or if Buzzbee stuff is rare, early Dart Zone stuff, I'm one of the only people on the internet that has a Dart Zone Power Strike 24. I hope Dart Zone makes a Pro Sentinel. They got to do a lever action. There's no way they aren't going to do a lever action. Thunderbolt tag. I'm not opening my Thunderbolt. When it's out of print, no, I'm not opening it. If I find a second Thunderbolt, I will do a video. A disc shot at Goodwill today. Didn't even have the remote. Oh, God, the remote's so hard to get, Danny. What is that? What's the best Pro Blaster for a beginner? I think you'd start off with the Cricket Pro. It's $7, $8 from Walmart. Steve with a $20 super. Steve, I'm not even doing anything. Why? Thank you, Steve, but why? Holy crap, Steve. I ain't doing anything worth that money. I really appreciate it, though. Thank you. Should we wait for the xshot AEB? I with how close I think we are to the xshot AEB, I would just give it, any big purchase you're going to make, I would wait. Unless you have a war like right now, I would wait for the xshot AEB just to see if it's any good at all. That's what, $90 towards a new camera now? Yeah, except for with Super Chats, I get them in 2 months and YouTube takes 30% of them. I'll get a new camera. I'll just, you know, we'll have to figure it out. I have to look to see what my options are. What I don't want to buy another ZV-1, that's for sure. I'm pretty disappointed. Oh, I'm so mad about that. I had almost forgotten about it, Classic. You just had to bring it all back. I will probably look at like an Osmo Action 3 or an Osmo Pocket 3 or an Osmo Action 5. I want something compact that can do 4K. I don't know if I need the kind of focus, like the way I wouldn't, if there isn't an actual, like really good upgrade to the ZV-1, I would consider it. But for what I do, what I use the ZV-1 for those of you that don't know, my camera died. This is my B-roll camera. So this was my main camera. I bought this 5 years ago, and it died. The SD card, a chunk of an SD card broke off inside of it, and I tried to get it. There's no way. So potentially I could buy another SD card board, take this entire thing apart, put it back in, but then you're opening yourself up to a lot more problems coming. And the problem is I use this for every single video I make. So even though my main camera, which is what I'm using for the stream right now, that doesn't leave the set. It's huge. It's bulky. It is not a camera worth lugging around. Nathan, what the heck are you actually doing? Nathan, why? I'm not doing anything. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. The 31, is that 31 Australian? Thank you. I really appreciate that. Completely unnecessary though. This is the camera I use for all of my stuff. All of the footage you see that's not pointing at that wall was shot on this for years. It's tiny, as you can see, very compact.
Let's rock.
Honestly, I would say it's one of the best cameras ever made. And the problem is my SD card broke off. I have the SD card. It's really not good anymore. I have it around here somewhere. What I thought it was just an SD card issue, so I bought another one. But then the camera, yeah, it broke off in there, so now it doesn't read cards at all. It won't. It will never work again. It's $120 for a new board to put in there, and then you have to take it apart, and that could be the end of this camera anyway. So, for what I use this for, do I need to have, like, the really nice focal distancing and stuff like that? No, I don't. So, I don't know if I'll get... I might try to see if there's another compact, powerful camera like this around like $1,000, and I'll pick one up. I don't really need one that swaps out lenses. That's for this camera. There is like a Lumix S9 I was looking at, but that's a whole different lens system than what my current camera uses, so I don't know if I'd ever go that route. But I have backups. I have these old things. They're both 4K though, so they'll work. For right now, these are going to be my backups for all that kind of stuff. So if you see a drop in quality in that, I'm sorry. The only thing I don't know what I'm going to do right now is the outdoor footage. Because my outdoor footage was this in portrait mode. So I would actually take my, I had adapters. All my cameras have these like clips that I put on them. I should have bought more of them. I have a ton of them. But I say I have a ton of them and I can't find a single one right now. My cameras and all my tripods have the same mounting thing. It's just a connector. And so I had two on this one. One on the side and one on the bottom. So when I went outdoor footage, I'd actually put it in portrait and then I'd crop in. So you didn't see all the extra stuff to the sides you didn't need to see. You just saw the middle. And yeah, those other two cameras won't do that. So that kind of messes with my outdoor footage a lot. I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that yet. I might just use my phone. We'll see. But yeah, it's been a rough week. And losing my camera that I've used for 5 years was not on my list of stuff. Thankfully, I have gotten to the camera to the point where like it will at least turn on. So I can still use it as like a pretty good webcam. Use your DVD camera on high quality. Yeah, not quite. Could barely make out the burrito when it was thrown. But yeah, I'll find an upgrade. I don't know. Like I said, I wish there were more cameras like this. This is a Sony FDR 3000, and I love this little guy. It's like the perfect little pocketable, like miniature handy cam. But Sony doesn't make this anymore. I might get like a Osmo Pocket 3. This is an original Osmo Pocket. I shot footage with this already. When it comes to actually using this camera, it's way simpler than the ZV-1, and it's actually a lot faster and smoother to use. On top of the fact that like you can do wacky stuff with a camera. Like you can have it on a tripod like this, like right over your head, because it's tiny and it's, you know, perfect for this like stick configuration. You can't do that with the Sony. like the ZV-1. It's a brick.
Let's rock.
Like, the closest I could ever really get it is like, you know, a couple of feet behind me. So I'm playing around with it. I'm trying to find the bright side of that kind of stuff. Don't donate to get me a new camera because it's going to cost me hundreds of dollars. And we aren't going to get there anytime soon. But yeah, that's why it's been a week. But we should have, unless something else goes wrong, we should have for the... Oh my God, you scared the poop out of me. What are these things, dude? These like wood beetles or something. They're pretty big beetles and they just go everywhere. We should have the video of this thing out tomorrow. I've already filmed all the range footage and stuff for it. I haven't filmed outdoor stuff, but we'll figure it out. So, thank you very much, Nathan. Thank you very much, Classic Prio, with another super chat. The main problem with the Osmo is the DJI app is sort of no longer. I actually still have it on my phone, the DJI Mimo app. So, I'm not buying a used camera. I do not trust people. I really don't trust people. I think I found like a $350 ZV-1 on Amazon or on eBay, and they were like, it makes grinding noises when it turns on, but other than that, it works. It's like, bro, I'm not buying a camera that is making grinding noises. Yeah, I wish I would have bought an Osmo Pocket because now they're like double the price because of the tariffs. Get a DJI Spark drone for the cam. I have an Air 2. I have a drone. I don't even use the one drone I have. The problem with the drone is I don't use anything that relegates using drone footage. Maybe you can get a Sony ZV-1. It's my favorite. But that's literally what this is. This is the ZV-1. This is the one that broke. Why would I buy another one when this one broke? I don't want to spend another $700 on an identical camera. That sucks. It's 5 years old. There's the ZV-1F. It's like a downgrade, though. And there's the ZV-1 II. Yeah, that's a thing that exists. I don't know. There's also the E10 and the E1, I think is what it's called. Those are really expensive. And honestly, the thing I liked about this camera is how compact it is. And if you go to like the E10, then you have the lens and stuff on it, and it kind of ruins that. Find a Costco. They're hidden in the back. Yeah, but I don't... I could look. I actually have been looking. That's what clued me into getting a Pocket 3. I could go ask my local Costco, but I don't have the $600. So, and I looked online, and they are more than that now. They are very expensive because of the tariffs. They jacked the prices up pretty bad. CEX. Ooh, you're one of them UK people. Battle Scout camera. You got me there, Chaos. You got me there. Yeah, not only is it $4.99, Buari, but it's $4.99 with an accessory pack. I mean, oh God, if I knew somebody that would loan me $500 to buy a Pocket 3, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'd do it in a heartbeat and pay extra. But yeah, it's just a bad time right now. I did take another sponsor recently. It's one I haven't done before, but it's one that I've seen a lot. So I do have that sponsor. I have also a sponsor with a big company I've worked with before. That should be coming out. That should be a big video though. What about a Sony AX4 3A Handycam? I don't know if I'd buy a Handycam in 2025. Nord Shadow Serial or something. No, it's not Shadow. It's not Raid. I don't think Raid will ever work with me again. That last like Raid ad I did for them, they were kind of buttholes about it. And I just kind of like, I'm done. I don't think Raid's a bad sponsor, but yeah. Oh, dude, I missed the moto mods. Those were the coolest things. Yeah, if $500 Sony Pocket, or DJI Pocket 3, because they are, I think they're like 600 something for just the camera on Amazon right now. If I remember right, they're very expensive because of tariffs. Yeah, they're $620 for just the camera right now. And the one at Costco, was $500 for the camera with like $150 in accessories. It sucks. I don't think I ever did a honey ad, did I? I don't think I did. Is Gatling Tommy German? Yes. Yes, he is. At least I'm pretty sure he's German. Read the last Streamlabs Super and mention the Amazon affiliate link. I mean, click the affiliate link to help you buy a camera. This is true. What's my Amazon? My Amazon affiliate's actually been doing gangbusters. It's been insane. But that's used. I use that to buy more garbage blasters for the channel. Well, thank you, Aiden. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. It's all the people buying the dumpster stuff. That's what I think it is. There was like there's like a thing in Amazon where if you sell a certain amount of blaster, like flat, they give you they start upping your percentages of how much they pay you per affiliate. And I got that email for like the first time in a very long time. It's like, you shipped like $3,500 in stuff this month, therefore we're giving you a flat percentage increase. And I was like, oh, snap. So yeah, my Amazon affiliate's actually like at $200, which is insane. That check's gonna be nice. Dumpster shotty from a couple of weeks back. It's not bad at all. The Amazon affiliate, it's the tiny URL, the FWI Nerf that Solonese posted a little bit ago. It just blanket. It's like anytime you buy anything, it depends on what it is on Amazon. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and they give me a percentage fee. So like for toys and electronics, I think it's like 3%. If you look at your oldest video, a lot of your comments say something similar to it, and thus a legend was born. I saw that. I saw a couple of those pop up. What is NERF RPM on YouTube? You mean like how much they pay per 1,000 views? Do you think Hasbro will release more wards? Well, they're obviously skipping to agilities right now, but I think the ward will come back. I don't know where that beetle went. I'm worried. I don't know where it went. Find them everywhere around here. They scare me because they look like spiders out of the corner of your eye. They're like this big. Mine, I mean, it obviously fluctuates, but I think the last time I looked at it, my RPM was like $7. It's pretty good. It fluctuates right now. The last couple of months, it's been like $5, $7, depending. I don't know what they are, David. They're like shield beetle? I don't know. They're pretty annoying. They're everywhere. I don't know how they get in here, but they are everywhere. Do you think Rival's gone? Yeah, I think Rival's gone, Crunchy. Keep in mind, it depends on the channel, but worry. Should I get a Nexus Pro X or a Siren Blink? Those are, I would wait off, unless you have a war coming right now, Lord Cheez-It. I would wait until the xshot AEB hits shelves. I'd wait, give it until like June and see if anything happens, then make a choice. Because that AEB has the potential to be way better than either of those. Is xshot Fury X good? Yes, I did a whole video on it. It is very good. What did I miss? What happened this week? First of all, lost motion in my left hand for 2 days. Second of all, when shooting this blaster, the bolt broke, which sliced open my finger, and I punched myself in the face. And then after that, I went to get the footage off my camera, and the SD card broke off in my camera. So now my camera that I've been using for every single video over the past 5 years is dead. So it's been a week. It's been a bad week. I'm not happy. What's that Discord notification? Yeah, it kind of looks like that, Abquintic. I think they're a little bit stretched out more on the thorax, but they're very similar. There's like 2 or 3 beetles, it looks like. they're annoying. They don't really do anything. It's just like, I'll just be sitting here and this beetle that's that big will just land on your forehead. And it's like, what the heck, dude? Which of the dumpster ones would be better to mod in your opinion? I don't know if any of them really. Maybe the Jack Mean one, just because it has the bigger mags and the more potential. Sorry, Fallon. I actually thought about you. I'm like, I wonder if I should send my camera off to Fallon because I really don't want to risk trying to fix it. I already took it apart, but to really get to that board to fix it, you have to pull everything out, and I really don't want to do that. But getting into it is not that hard. I was actually surprised how easy it was to get into it. Are there any cheap mods for the Nerf Rifle Saturn? I could do a spring upgrade, I think. I wish there was a foam flinging equivalent to explosives that aren't Mega XL or bigger darts. I mean... yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like Mega XL was a great stopping point for big dirt. It worked better than Demolisher rockets. They make more sense than arrows. I think they were great. I don't know why they didn't do more of them. The heck is a Nerf Viper Stray? Oh, is that the snake thing? I don't know. Dig the dart out of it. Able to get into the SD card well with some tweezers? It's dead. So what had happened was the corner of the SD card, this side, right next to the lock, that broke off inside, and I did try to take tweezers to get in there, but it's like, when I put it in, it was fine, and then I popped in, I'm like, oh, thank God, it still works. And then I tried to put it back in, so I put it in and clicked it, and then it was lodged in there, and I'm like, oh no. And so I grabbed these, and I just yanked out the SD card, and yeah, that was the end of it. It wasn't going to work after that. And finally, at some point, I just got frustrated, and I took this razor blade, and I just went in there and tried to dig the piece out. I had to do that to even get the camera to function, because it kept saying to... Let me see here. It's a shame, too, because like I said, I used that camera for pretty much everything for years. So it going away on me is not optimal. I still had much left to use it for. But it's fine. We'll just get something else in the future. Honestly, I was kind of already looking for something that would be better than the ZV-1. Find a blaster you like and see if there's anything you can do with it. That's kind of like my main, like, you can do something with modding. There's really not, like, much reason to mod anymore. That's the thing. It probably has damage pins on the reader. I found a board on Amazon or on eBay. I think I typed in ZV-1 SD card. Yeah, so ZV-1, assuming this is actually the part, the board itself is $108. And to get that board out, you have to take everything out, including the actual optics and stuff, which is scary. So it's doable, but it's scary. And then you have the chance of breaking something else when you do that. You also have the chance of it just not working even if you do that. So there might be, but it's like, see, so you're talking about like, oh, it's a $100 board, then you charge $100, $200 for, you know, time and effort for somebody to do it, or you do it yourself. And that's assuming that you've even actually worked on a ZV-1 before, which I only found like one video on all of YouTube that anybody took one apart. It's the reasoning for doing this is kind of diminishing at that point. It sucks, but like when you're like, yeah, you're going to be out $300-400 to repair your camera, it's like you might as well just buy a new camera. What's my favorite AEB? Right now, it's the Colonel Lost 77. Well, that could change. Any tips for getting into modding? That's the second time somebody's asked that. I don't really have good tips for that because, like, there's really no reason to mod blasters anymore. They're better than ever. There's almost no reason. That's a lot of people are like, why would you ever mod a blaster when you can just buy a better one? It sucks, but I mean, I got into it. Honestly, the problem is like you're taking off all the tape and you're taking off all the thermal padding because you have to pull off the motherboard and the optics and everything to get to the SD card thing because it's stacked, you know, from the optics back, and the SD thing is right in the it's the last thing you can pull out of the camera. So it's like, holy crap, it's not worth doing. I don't know why, like, that's the only, that and the ports, like, you know, USB charging port and stuff like that. Those are the most, like, notorious for breaking. Why are they so hard to get to? Why would you make those, like, the hardest to get to parts? Sucks. I feel like the Tomcat is a pro villain error. It pretty much is, Noah. Opinion on the Siren Muller? For the 30-40 bucks you can get one for, and it hitting 200 something FPS, it's pretty much the best deal for performance you can get in the hobby. Honestly, your camera really proved that bigger isn't better. Well, this camera is way better than the ZV-1. I don't think there's any arguing about that. The ZV-1 was just really good. Are there any other storage options? I might be able to plug a recorder into it. I'm not certain. It's like the whole point of the camera, the reason why it's good is because it's compact. So it's like, once you put a recorder to it, that kind of ruins that. It's whatever. I can still use it as like a webcam, probably. Because I'm pretty sure, like, now that I got the SD card message removed off of it, I'm pretty sure I can still just plug it in and have USB out. Or HDMI out. Hey, J-Ro. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming out. See, we may be facing a blaster shortage due to tariffs. It could be, but even then, I don't think modding... I think if that happens, then 3D printing is just going to take over again. It'll be the second coming of 3D printed blasters. Any tips for the Nerf niche on YouTube? It shouldn't be hard. Make better content and just do it regularly. I really don't feel like there's a lot of other crazy factors in that. How about an Insta360? If I was doing game footage, I would use an Insta360 for sure. But I don't. Well, yeah, good audio, but that goes without saying. And my audio's garbage, so... What's the best Springer I can buy off store shelves right now? Probably gonna be the Striker 2.0. Well, yeah, Fallon, I use... it's over here. So, this is an Adamus Ninja V. This is a recorder. I have the power disconnected. It can use batteries, but I just plug it in. This connects into the camera you're currently seeing everything on. And this is just an SSD. So all of my footage is shared. So all I do is I hit record on the screen, record everything, unplug this hard drive, and I have a SATA data cable hanging out of my computer that I just slide this into. And that's how I do the entire channel. That is so much better than fluffing around with SD cards and stuff. This is a lot, okay? So doing this on a camera that is this big is stupid, to put it frankly. It is dumb. It could work. I don't know. Like, your camera has to be able to have, like, HDMI out that's clean. They don't all work with this, but it could potentially work. So I could just buy another one of these. Problem is, I think this is like 500 bucks. I don't remember. All I know is it was worth every penny. I was actually not going to buy a recorder. I was going to buy the Shinobi, which is just a monitor. And I just wanted a monitor so I could see better when I'm facing the camera. Because it's like, when you're looking at those little tiny screens, you can't really see if everything's in focus. And there were videos where it's like, oh no, my entire video was out of focus. I'm upset. But with this, it's like, not only is this pretty much right here in front of me, So I can usually see if there's anything wrong, but I can also just record to an SSD, and it's way faster and easier to do that. Also, for this boy that you're watching, the SD card I bought, I actually think I still have the box in here. That's how expensive it was. I bought one SD card. This guy. How much do you think this one 80 gigabyte SD card was? This records, I think, at full bore, gives me like 45 minutes of footage, if that. And it was like $180. Because it's basically a miniature SSD. I know you say that like, well, isn't an SD card a miniature SSD? No, because this thing has a read and write speed up to 800 megabits a second. Your SD cards do like a quarter of that. I didn't get scammed. That's what they cost. What is it? CF Express Type A. They might have come down since I've gotten it. No, they have not. A 160 gigabytes, so double what I have right now, is on sale. It's 33% off. It's still $270. Yeah. They are very expensive. You did not get a 10 terabyte card. They don't exist. And also $80 now. You might have gotten a 1 terabyte card. You did not get a 10 terabyte card. I think the biggest an SD card goes up to right now is like 2 gig or 2 terabyte. And yes, that is why it's so expensive, is because it's the write speed. Because when you're shoving that much information, you need to have, yeah, and they're just so expensive. So I do have the one, but how expensive is like how expensive is a 2 terabyte SSD? Like a Samsung 2 terabyte SSD, it's like $150. It's stupid. SSD 2 terabyte. How much is that? Like these are, and like the 870 Evo 2 terabyte is $150. And those will rewrite stupidly fast too. So Gelfire Mythic is, it's fun Roblox. I think you could do better though, unless you got a good deal on it. It was too expensive for the money they wanted, because they had too many competitors in the Gelfire thing. I've got a 1 petabyte card for 2 septims. I mean, it's not bad. What's the exchange rate on septims is probably insane. A lot of things lie. The worst of which was my camera died. So now I don't have a B-roll camera. What about Nightingale? I think a Venom Pro is better than a Nightingale. Especially when you can get a Nightingale or a Venom Pro for $35 right now. Yeah, I wouldn't even look at a Nightingale. Unless you don't live in the US. If you live outside the US, then you're screwed. Get a Nightingale, I guess. That's the kind of like, for normal 1080p stuff, it doesn't really matter. But if I wanted to do like the high frame rate stuff and like the full 4K max resolution stuff, or 8K or whatever it is my camera will do, you have to have the good stuff. And that's why it's like you have to buy these literal miniature SSDs. It has a slot for I think it has 2 slots. It has 4 SD card slots, 2 for the CF Express, and then 2 for normal, these guys. Did I ever use the zinc? No, it would blow past any of the FPS caps we'd have the zinc for. Nitro Shot Target? Nitro Shot Target. The pop-up nitro shot target, the $20 one. It looks the same as every other little pop-up target we've seen. What about it is great? I wish they would take the Conquest and make it a lever action, Crunchy. I think AK Blaster Mod said setting on a Nightingale 1.0s for 23. Okay, then you have to buy a LiPo and a LiPo charger if you don't already have it. And those are not full auto. So, and the Venom is. So any way you shake it, the Venom's way better. Well, thank you, Matt. I don't play Roblox. I don't like kids as is. Actually, I haven't been playing any real multiplayer games recently, now that I think about it. I haven't really been playing games. I might have finally gotten out of games. I was kind of disappointed with Monster Hunter Wilds. Does that camera have a Type-C? This one does. The ZV-1 does not. It's micro USB, which is ridiculous. I played it on Xbox Game Pass, Woojin. I wasn't that impressed. I think Call of Duty is just done. Yeah, I think Call of Duty's, it's ran its course. That being said, I haven't checked out Game Pass recently, so I wanted to see if there's anything good on here. The bomb says no, Kevin. There's, like, nothing on Game Pass. Most of it's, like, free-to-play stuff. Why is there so much free-to-play stuff on... Okay, Mullet Mad Jack, I want that. But I could just buy that game. It's like a $10 game. Wow, they really have not done much with Game Pass. It's mostly free-to-play stuff. I don't know what the point of that is. I'll try to drag you into Xbox. I'm pretty sure the actual developers of that have reached out to me, David, and I think I snubbed them. Like, they literally sent me like a, hey, Walcom, we're doing a influencer preview and would like for you to join us. And I was like, I don't even think I responded to it, because at the time I was like, I didn't care. Because I think that's an extraction shooter, right? I don't know. I don't remember. Same thing with Fragpunk. They also, and I took one look at Fragpunk. I was like, oh, this is Counter-Strike. I'm good. Will we ever get to see your rats again? Hold on. I just recorded a video with them last night. Where is it? There was the raccoon. There it is. It's on my phone. I'm not going to transfer it over. Look at him. He's so cute. That's Kagabi. And then I give him a pepperoni. And then Ace is like, I need a pepperoni. And Ace gets a pepperoni. And so they're two happily munching away. They were very polite, which is uncharacteristic for them. And now I'm looking for Senku. And he's around here somewhere. And then I spot him out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, where's your brother? Where's your brother at? And then I see him. And he's over on the other side of the cage, because they have a massive cage. He's just chilling in there. And I open it up. And I offer him a pepperonis. And he taketh the pepperoni. That's Senku. He gets his own pepperoni. So yeah. They're adorable. They like I mean, they're rats. They pretty much like everything. I don't know if I'm supposed to feed them pepperoni, but I do feed them. Senku, like Dr. Stone Senku? Yeah. I don't remember what our first... I think Sento, we were going to name him Sento after Build, but I said I like Senku more. Because he's what is it, Siamese? So he has like the kind of darker face, and I don't know, just like, I'm like, yeah, look, Senku. So we have Senku, Kagami, and Ace. I don't know how much longer they have. They're pretty old rats at this point. They're over a year old. Rats don't live that long. Pepperoni is perfectly safe for rats. Look at Master Splinter. Fair enough. Really easy thing to give them. They get a lot of treats. Now we've moved them into like the living room, so now they get all the treats. And the guinea pig has never been happier. Our guinea pig is basically our vegetable garden disposal, or garbage disposal. We just give him, oh, here's, cut up anything. Just feed the scraps to the guinea pig. He loves it. We're raising chickens. That's why I've been working on building and doing the roof work. Ah, that makes sense. That clues in. We have the property. We thought about doing like chickens and stuff like that. Goats. It's like we have a huge property. See Nerf centers that are on sale on Amazon for $14. Is there Nerf centers on Amazon for $14? Let's go to the Amazons. Let's look up the Nerf sender. It is currently out of stock on Amazon, at least being sold by Amazon. The only offers they have available are way too expensive. So, yeah, that sucks. I had adorable rats and a guinea pig. I have 2 guinea pigs. We used to have 2 guinea pigs, but one of them passed away. When was that? It was a while ago. So now we have the one. His name's Rodeo. Then we have the 3 rats, and we have 2 cats. 2 dumb cats. Senders are $14 at Walmart. Well, there you go. Would you recommend a torrent? I mean, for cheap, yeah, sure. If you can get a torrent for 10, 15 bucks, go for it. Excuse me. That sounds about right, Rujin. Do you even touch stock Elite Black? I literally have a double punch right here. Ow. I got a cut on my finger. Ugh, I need 2 more of these. I just don't want to spend money on them. Do you think I should buy a torrent for like 20 USD? Not really, in my opinion, unless you don't have access to anything else. I put AB barrels in my sender, works pretty good. I put a metal barrel in my sender and it worked good. Yeah, the sender is pretty garbo when it comes to like trigger feel and stuff like that. Like, they cleared some out because they just didn't sell. I'd like to say I had a part of that. I'm sure it's really not cool for Nerf when they're like, oh my god, those stupid fat idiots on YouTube that review our toys are gonna love these Nerf Pro things. And then it comes out and both of mine don't work. And I just, bleh. What's a blaster you praised in video but hate now? I don't think that's ever happened. Has it? Solenoid, has that ever happened? Have I ever loved something on video and then turned around to hate it? I don't think it's ever happened. Would you recommend a long shot for starters? The xshot long shot? Maybe, if you found it at a good price. I wouldn't pay over $25 for it. Your opinions have drifted over time, but I don't think that severely. What opinions of mine has drifted? I'd like to know of one, because I can't think of one off the top of my head. And the opinion has to have changed because of, like, not a better thing coming. See, that's not fair. You're like, your opinion on the Nexus Pro is like, no, because my opinion on the Nexus Pro has never changed. The difference is, like, more stuff came out that was better than the Nexus Pro. Would you recommend the Elite 2-point Echo? No. The thing with the Nexus Pro is the reason why I was so excited is because at the time it was like the first point of breaking pro blasters into the normals. Like, would not ever care about that blaster because I had so many other things that were better than the Nexus Pro. Why I was excited for the Nexus Pro is because you guys got your hands on it. The Nexus Pro was never going to replace L-Chan, and L-Chan existed before the Nexus Pro. Bought my wife and me some Nerfs to play around with, so I bought a Sharky Point on xshot long shot. Shot my blinds and made a hole in it. Yeah, that'll happen laid back. I guess that doesn't really translate well over the camera. Like, this will absolutely obliterate your grandma's night lampshade. Don't do that. Yeah, it has been. I thought about doing, so I know I have a brand new unboxed Nexus Pro. I thought about opening it up for like a 5th anniversary thing, and I think that's coming soon. Let me see. Walcom Nexus Pro. Hopefully shows up. 4 years ago. Stop this idiot before he gets too loud. July 31st. Is there a market for Nexus Pros that are unopened? Because, man, I'm really considering it. 5 years ago. Let's see how it holds up today kind of thing. I feel like it's an easy slam dunk of a video. Five years ago, this blaster changed everything. And it's not like a camo colored one. It's not a gold one. It's the original orange. I have had it sitting there for years. Is the mod kits for the Nexus Pro still on Amazon? Like, you used to be able to buy the whole metal kit, everything. God, Amazon, I hate your search bar. It never works for me. There's a spring. There's a spring. Crap. You used to be able to get the whole mod kit. All the metal rails and replacement parts and everything. I'd love to get my hands on that. But, yeah, I think they're long gone. And yet I can get a Sita on Amazon. Yeah, sure, okay. You can get a Fire Rat on Amazon. You can get a Game Face Prime on Amazon. Ugh, I wonder if there's, like, Monkey Mods or something still has it. That would be really cool if I could get my hands on that stuff. Nope, nothing. They had them, but they're out of stock. The whole breach block and everything, that sucks. Can the Torrent take slim angled talons? I don't think so, Gobsmacker. I actually don't know. I don't think I've ever found a Nexus Pro like thrifting. There was like, I think you could spend like $150, but you could get like all metal everything for the Nexus Pro. I might do that because I also have an Aeon Pro as well. Both of them in box, bought them and just saved them. It would be kind of a cool video. I was just looking to see if the metal Nexus Pro parts were still around and a reasonable price. Can you recommend the Dart Zone Mark IV if you want to put the time and effort into making one ridiculously powerful? Yes, otherwise, no. I mean, I'm doing okay, Skinny. It's been rough. It's been a rough day. For those of you that are just checking in, not only did I have a dead, like, numb hand for 2 days, it's fine now, but it was bad for 2 days. When I was filming this video, the bolt on it broke. It snapped right off, and I smashed myself in the face, which didn't feel good, and cut open my finger, which still is really kind of crappy. And I somewhere during all of this, my SD card and my camera broke. So like I took it out to see the footage of myself getting smashed in the face, and it's when I noticed the corner of my SD card was broken, and it locked off inside my camera, and I can't get it out now. The SD card port's broken. So my camera that I've used for every video for 5 years is dead, which sucks. Because even if I wanted to buy that exact 5-year-old camera again, it's $700 something. Priming still, I mean, I would pay $100, I think. I would almost, for a video, I'd almost do that. But it'd have to be like every single part brand new. So, yeah, things have sucked. So I had like, that's one of the reasons why that dumpster diving video took so long. Is because like, I shot the video, my entire hand was just pins and needles. It sucked. And I could not type. I couldn't even use my phone. I slept all of like that Sunday or Monday or whatever that was. And it only slightly worked better the next day, but I did get that video out. And yeah, I'm not happy that this is the coolest blaster ever. And I mean, we can play the footage again if you really want to see me at my lowest, because I rip it back and I just smashed right into my face and cut the crap out of my finger. I had it super glued together for a while. It's just a little baby cut, but it's deep enough that it hurts and it's in the best possible position. So every single time I bend my finger, it hurts. But man, I don't think I've actually shown this. Fallon, you haven't seen this thing yet, have you? You've not seen the majesty of this blaster. Well, maybe I should find some dirts. Why would Walcom care about this bolt-action blaster? Why would Walcom care? Yes, but Fallon, tell me honestly, have any of them actually done the rapid-fire mad minute shooting with it? Because that's the thing that this blaster does that no other blaster I know of does. So, Mag, Smiley, this blaster does something I've never seen another bolt action do. So I'm gonna brace it, shoulder it, pulls back. So here's the bolt right here. You can see it. Pull that back. You can see the dart there. Close it. You know, it's a bolt action. If you brace the bolt with your thumb so it doesn't bend and pull it back with your fingers, it's way easier to operate. And then when you slide it forward, look where my finger goes. If you don't hold the bolt back like that, probably just broke something. That's doing that in front of the camera. Let's try that again. Critical. All right, let's try that again. So, if you just kind of, yeah. Anybody not think that's the coolest thing ever? Do that with your Kunlun. I freaking dare you to try. I have to practice it, but the fact that you can screw up your entire blaster, I keep putting it because it has a little ridge right there, and I keep locking it before that. The fact that you can do that is nuts. And that immediately makes this one of the best blasters I've ever used. If a blaster has a gimmick that works and it's a whole skill, like, dude, the first time you sit there for hours and you just get that down, which is what I did. I fired this thing for like an hour and a half all these poor green darts. And then you get into the rhythm. It's like, you think I'd be better at it by now, and I'm still garbage. It's so much fun. I wonder if the reason he uses Nightingale mags in the straight talons is the angled way that makes the dart face makes it good for the breach. It might have something to do with it, Vesic. You might be onto that. I also think it just looks sick. And that's the funny thing about that is, Commander Wolf, there's already like 3 different stock options for the thing, including no stock. But if I could just get good at doing that, it's the... Yeah. You can get better at it. Oh. It feels so good. And it's like, it's so light and handy. Oh, it just feels amazing. It's seriously one of my favorite blasters I've ever used. The more I play with it, the more I love it. The only problem with the Smiley is that there's no instructions how to build it right now, and I got filtered pretty quick. What's the best N-Series blaster? It's definitely the Sprinter. Best beginner probe level blaster? Pixels, I would go for the Cricket Pro from Walmart. It's like $7. Know any good battery-powered blasters? Ragefire, Sender, I guess. Maxim, if you can still find the Maxim. Maxim's probably your best bet. If you can find a Maxim laid back, ooh, it's so good. The Maxim's also awesome because you can ease yourself into lipos with a Maxim. What are some good $30 blasters at Walmart? Most of the good blasters are $30. You can get it on sale. You can go for like the Nexus Pro and stuff like that. Oh my god, my Discord! How dare you! Oh my god, that does look so sick. Sorry, Fallon was sending me somebody's Smiley they're working on. I was more interested in just getting this thing operational. Now that I understand how it looks, I'm surprised how well this color scheme worked out with me having no idea what the parts were going to be. I really like how it turned out, because even like this looks like it's random, but it actually follows through. So I honestly think this worked out perfectly. I kind of want to do some fun stuff with it. I kind of want to make one like Ace from One Piece or something, because it has like his, it's not the same, but the logo for the Smiley looks like Ace's logos he has on his hat. Have you tried the Realm? Oh god, from what I know, the Realm works pretty much similar to this. And it was monstrously expensive, and no, I have not tried it because I heard it was like not very good. This is like, this was $45, and somebody told me this is better than the Realm was. And as far as I know, it's gone now. You can't get one. Which sucks, but yeah, they were really expensive. They were so expensive. Like, you'd think you'd be able to do it with this, but maybe you could with the Realm? I'm not sure. I never saw anybody do it. But I don't know, like, this is literally designed to do it. So, Smiley. SMLE. The SMLE Smiley. The SMLE is the short magazine Lienfield, which is the weapon that this kind of action was based on. So this thing's literally designed to do it. I tried both. Smiley feels much nicer prime, but Realm can hit higher FPS. Well, yeah, this hits higher than the Smiley, but this thing's kind of garbage. It's so weird because the actual body is so amazingly well printed. And then it just like everywhere where it matters, like on the bolt face and stuff, it's awful. But my god, if this forend doesn't feel amazing in the hand, because it's like such a high resolution layering. With Walcom's foam flinging arsenal, he could start a war. I can I could outfit an entire nation. Yeah, that makes sense, Vesic. Would you be interested in a stock for the sender to make it feel more like a Nerf Firefly? I'm probably good for a land arrow. I might build an SME, but I gotta finish my half dart Pharaoh. Oh, I like this. Should start a thing where it's like anybody who visits me gets a Maverick. You show up on my doorstep, you get a Maverick. Or a freaking a recon. God, I have so many recons too. There's a whole section of my studio that hasn't been touched in years that has so many blasters in it. I'd like to see you try to go through that, Solanese. Oh my god, I would love to see you try to do that. That's not even the first time that joke has been made, Fallon. It would be funny to get like 30, 40 people and get like ladders and stuff and place them near the road and just have people stand there with just Nerf blasters just overlooking the entire perimeter. Everybody drive by like, why the hell are there's like 40 grown men patrolling this one little acre of land off the state that all of them are equipped with Nerf blasters. Like, just Mavericks. Just Mavericks and Recons. I could have literally so many. Vulcans, we'd have people at the gates with Vulcans. Oh, it would be fun. When's the next time you're coming by? Because if it's in like a month, I should have plenty of money to buy more shelves and bins. An Icon Stampede? I still don't think I have an Icon, but you're never going to make it an xshot AEB killer. If you think it would be possible and your reaction made a double barrel with a tube chamber mag riot shotgun, that is a lot of words that don't quite fit in my head right now, Commander Wolf. If it was made a double barrel in tube chamber mag riot shotgun. So I'm tube fed double barrel pump action. I think that's a thing that technically does work. That checks out, Solanese. Maybe I'll see if Z will do it. Throw some money her way. All right, I gotta go probably fix this dinner situation for the wife. She can't open a jar of sauce, which doesn't mean I can do it, but I have to at least try. Especially with this cut on my finger. So, yeah, I think we're going to call it here. Thank you very much for keeping me company today, guys. I'm sorry things have been slow. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to just do a bunch of random videos next week and see what happens. Because my metrics are not looking good. My metrics are not looking good at all. But still, we had like consistently over 100 people watching the stream. And I can't thank you enough for that. Because I truly do not deserve your time and effort for that. So, I hope you guys have a fantastic Easter tomorrow if you're celebrating. If not, like I said, I'm going to hopefully have this video out for you tomorrow. I filmed a lot of footage for it today, so all I have to do is reshoot my talkie bits and edit it together, which may be a pain. Do what I can. Otherwise, it'll be a Monday thing, but if I do go to Monday, that's because I really wanted to make this video more special. There's like several hours of footage for this already shot, so. And I think I got all of them off that SD card. We'll see. Thank you very much, Crunchy. Thank you very much, Pete. Thanks very much, Chaos. You have a good Easter too, Ren. Thank you, Kingston. I mean, I'll leave it up, Deformin, so you can see me punch myself in the face somewhere in there. Oh, all right, I'll leave you with the rest of, what is this, Peon's theme? Yeah, I'll leave you with the rest of that. Love you all. Thank you so much. We'll do better next week. Next week's got to be better than this week. This week sucked. Take care, everyone. Oh, crap. I got to drag this over here because I can't actually get to the end stream button. And there we go.